Hello, everybody! Welcome back. It's week 6 of CMSA's League of Legends League. How is everybody? How are you, Sam?
I'm great. I'm excited for week number 6, following Topaz this week. And with the recent announcement that we're going to be forming like a competitive team, and I loved what the post said, like everyone should really be trying to impress tonight. So I think it's fitting that we're watching them. I'm very excited to see the play.
I know. I saw the announcement about a subscription. Highlight just subscribed for 13 months in a row. Woo!
Thank you.
I saw the announcement for a competitive team, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so exciting! Maybe this could be an opportunity to shoutcast over some like really competitive stuff. Not that this isn't competitive. This is like friendly competitive, but I would love to do some like real competitive shoutcasting." And, you know, just get us out there. That'd be super fun and super cool. Oh my god, there's like a fly that's like attacking my computer and I can't get it.
I wish I could help you. Just reach across the screen and swat it. Which way are you?
Please do. It's like this little, it's like one of those little fruit flies. Like, I feel like I just need to stop buying bananas, because every time I buy bananas, I get the fruit flies. And then as soon as they're gone, no fruit flies. Oh, it's the worst. But anyways, Topaz today, we will be checking out, let's see, we're gonna be following girl boss Leona. And on their team, I believe we already got it published. We got Swaby, Capri, Nep, Patchy Form, and Rolling Star 7. Which I believe they're going up against Pookie Jarvin first. Let's load it up here.
Let's
Topaz.
see. We've got Girlboss Fiona versus Garen's Giat.
Yeah, so I got Topaz's names are so funny. Versus Garen's Giat, which has Eli, Hanguf, Holographite, Poggle, and Tiddlywink. Not Tiddlywink. Oh my goodness. That's such a great name. I was actually looking at the scoreboards for a little bit and checking out like our top 5, top 10. So we're gonna be following Girl Boss Leona today, which has Patchy Form, which I believe, just looking at their stats, are basically always going supports. I believe they're number 2 on the scoreboard. Let me pull that back up here. Checking out Topaz. Yeah, Patchy Form has won 7 of their games, so that's an 85% win rate. And they've had almost they have about a 600 vision score with 150 assists. So I'm very interested to see how Patchy Form plays this game, because, I mean, that's like some top level stuff.
600 vision score in 7 games?
Yeah.
That's all right.
I think only like 2 other people have a higher vision score than that, and that would be Hanguf, which we're about to see. They have a 708, and then also, let's see, it was Eli, who we're also about to see, a 679. So we're about to see a lot of vision in this upcoming game.
All right, we'll have to take a look at like the mini map frequently and see who can light it up like a holiday tree.
Speaking of holiday trees, I was at the store recently, and there's already Christmas stuff all over the place.
Oh my god,
driving me nuts.
Too early.
It is way too early.
It's time.
Oh, what was this? Oh, Mr. Raccoon was first today. Congratulations, Mr. Raccoon, with the actual first, I believe. Like, not 2 hours before first. And then Fakov says hello. Spriggan says hello. Hi, Spriggan. Hi, Fakov.
Hello.
And then Kayla said hello. They said, is John playing? LOL. John is asleep. What? Wake his butt up.
John, wake up and play some League of Legends. What's happening?
Where's John? Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Oh, that reminds me. There's an IHOP very, very close to my new apartment. I'm just dying to go. I know it's so stupid, but I love IHOP and Denny's, and I love to just go sit and zone out to like a cup of coffee and some really cheap breakfast food, and you know, just meditate on life. It's kind of like my thing when I want to process something mentally.
When I feel like when I'm in like any rural part of the country, that's my go-to, and I didn't grow up in Chicago, so that was like kind of a hangout spot, or like you said, almost like a meditation spot. I will say though, the one IHOP here in Boys Town, I don't think I would have that same vibe if I was to go in there and just like kind of meditate on life. I don't know, maybe I haven't been in there yet, so perhaps it's not quite like that, but it just there's something different between like a in the middle of the city IHOP or Denny's.
It definitely can be. So I have frequented that IHOP many a times.
Oh,
Because that was the closest one to me when I lived in Chicago, so I was there all the time. It was also like right next to my ex-boyfriend's house, so we could go there all the time. But and even longer story, but basically I had gone there all the time, and it's just like a regular IHOP. The only time it's not gonna be like a regular IHOP is when you go after hours. Like that's like when the bars are letting out and people are going to IHOP because it's right there and it's just open, so it's party central. But I go down during like happy hour, which is like 3 to 4, 1 to 4, something like that, where everything's like half price. But the long story, like / fun story about me and that IHOP, about I want to say like 6, 7, maybe even 8 years ago. I was living in Ohio. I came to Chicago just for a trip, and we were staying like outside the city, like nowhere close. And I was like, oh, I really want to go to the gay IHOP. Like I want to go to like the neighborhood and like see what it's like, you know, because I was like young. I didn't know, we didn't have like gay communities that I was like really involved in. What Poggle said, you opened this message, now the people in chat have to use their Prime subs. Good one, Poggle. Good one, Poggle. That was very strategic. I opened and closed that so fast, thinking, what does this say? And then I saw what it said like for a second. I was like, oh, okay, we can show this to the stream.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
And then in their chat they said, at Chromacaster, is the points giveaway still happening? I believe it is. I haven't heard it. Yes, it's still going on, so definitely cash in your tickets for some free stuff.
I want to say
7 months in a row.
Oh, Poggle, woo! I want to say that giveaway goes until like the middle of the month, maybe like 15th or 14th or something, so you still got time.
Yeah, I imagine until somebody tells me that it's over, you're probably good. And like cash in those points, might as well. And if for some reason it did end, you cash in your points, I'm pretty sure we can figure a way out to get them back to you. So no worries there. Finishing that story super quick, we went to this IHOP. We took an Uber for like $30 for like an hour-long trip almost to this IHOP in the morning. So not even like at night or anything. We got there and it was just absolutely slammed with just like a bunch of families. It was just a regular IHOP. So then we basically spent like $60 for Uber there and back to go to the gay IHOP, and it wasn't even a gay experience. It was just a regular IHOP experience.
A regular IHOP experience. I love that.
Yeah, it was extremely unfortunate. It's like, wow, we spent all this money for no reason. But you know, when you're like a young person in the queer community, you're like, oh, like opportunities, like see other queer people, like let's go do that. But it didn't work out that way. But you know what? We tried, and it's an excellent story to tell people now.
I've never gone in, so it's good to know that it's IHOP, you know, at the end of the day.
It's IHOP. Do you remember when they did the burger promotion and it was
I
IHOP?
I know. I love that. There was so much backlash over it.
That was like, that time period was just so iconic for marketing. Like that's when Wendy's was just going off and like basically arguing with the other fast food chains, and then IHOP was IHOB. I'm trying, like I think Target was doing some weird stuff at that time too. Like everyone was just going off in marketing. We need another time period like that. Where are all the restaurants that are making TikToks and arguing with each other? We need drama. I don't know, maybe I'm just outside of the pop culture sphere at this point, but I feel like all the drama has kind of like died off. Like there's little stuff I hear about now, but like stuff like Jeffree Star and James Charles and, you know, all those like reality people who are like arguing and having all these like fights. Like I don't hear about that as much anymore. No more drag queen fights.
All I heard you say is it just paused me on my tracks. I'm like, if you are outside the pop culture sphere, I don't even know what I would be classified as. Just in a completely different like universe away from the pop culture sphere. Like that's not something in my orbit.
I think the internet has just figured me out to where they don't show me the generic pop culture stuff anymore, except for just like the occasional like RuPaul's Drag Race clip that everyone has seen. Like, other than that, everything that's marketed to me on TikTok and Instagram is very much like, oh, we know Chroma likes this. Let's give it to him. So I'm not in the pop culture sphere anymore. And thanks to new algorithms and targeted marketing. But it is what it is. That is okay. I don't need to be in the pop culture ring. That is not me. I live to myself and I have a very small sphere of things that I care about. So, and the internet figured that out. So, good job, internet.
Good job, algorithm. You have solved me.
It said, okay, we potentially have a 5th/sub. Okay, so they were missing somebody. Hence why we are kind of hanging out.
Still in here. Hopefully
wait, here we go. I see a full team of 5.
Okay, let's do this.
Tiddlywink has joined the building.
Tiddlywink, okay.
Tiddlywink. Which Tiddlywink was in the draft. So I'm curious if are they just a sub? Let's see.
Who was our actual sub?
Our sub is Hanguf. But then we also have 2 subs on Girl Boss Leona. That would be Neff and Rolling Star 7. I believe they've all actually played games already, so they're not like first-time subs or anything. Hence why they have stats.
Who is that between Poggle and Holographite? Is that?
That is Eli. Yes.
That's Eli. Okay. Excellent.
Yes. I have to remember that too, because I was thinking the same thing. They sent a message saying, "Is the points giveaway still happening?" They just said sorry in the chat. Thank goodness for CMSA eSports.com.
Yes.
Telling me who's who. Because I'm looking at it and like most people's names are the same, like Poggle, Tiddlywink, Holographite, and then Eli's, and then like all the symbols. Who else has like a different name? Thundercats Woe is actually River Otter. Nick.Ziet is actually Kamaya Harris. Not to be confused with Kamala Harris. Not to be confused.
Kamaya, okay, good old Kamaya Harris.
Kamaya Harris.
Okay, okay, Kamaya Harris.
And then we've got Aiden/Chime Gatherer. So those are the only ones that are gonna be a little bit different than what we see on the screen. Yes, Eli, it's all your fault. How dare you do this to us? How dare you confuse your shoutcasters? Not a problem at all. I encourage everyone to have very unique and fun names. I always think about changing my name to something like fun, but you know, I feel like I'm branded at this point. Like Chromacaster is the brand. We don't steer from that anymore.
I just saw someone with the name in one of my games that had their name was Sam, and it was #VCF.
Oh.
And I was like, what is this?
What does the VC stand for?
VC? Very cool. No, it's not. It is my middle and last initial. Just my middle and last initial.
Okay, I was gonna say if very cool is an actual like thing, that I could see why they have the same thing. Oh, maybe they're just a big fan. They watch the stream. They just love to watch you and enjoy your presence, so they change their name.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's nice to know that you have some fans. Makes you feel loved, right?
So loved. So now they're all. Or are they trying to switch sides?
I think they are trying to switch sides.
Okay.
I'm like, I could get out of the way, but that also means putting myself up there. So I think I'm not gonna touch it. You guys figure it out.
They'll get there, we believe. Because I mean, side select is going to be important now that they're having to really try hard. There's some scouts watching.
We're basically in tryouts right now. I believe their performance is being tracked as of, it's either this week or next week. I'd have to go back and double check the exact one. I think they said week 6, which is this week.
It was week 6 onward, yeah.
All right, so they're being tracked, so pressure is on. Mr. Raccoon said, famous internet personality Sam VC, of course, obviously. And I don't know if you could tell, Mr. Raccoon, but Sam has been adjusting their microphone. They should sound a lot more clear, or at least close to my volume now. Is that true?
I hope so. Please tell me if I sound the same or different than I did last week. I was randomly checking out all the sound settings on my system over the week, and I found that my like Windows volume setting for input was at like 20% or maybe a little less, and so I don't know how anyone could hear me. All I know is as long as I've had this microphone, every time I join Discord, people are like, "Whoa, let me turn you up," and they like crank me to 200-300+%. So
And then you're still a whisper.
Hopefully it sounds better now.
Yeah, Mr. Raccoon says you two have much more similar in volume. Perfect. I actually did turn myself down this week as well, and I removed like the limiter filter that like kept cutting my voice off whenever I started yelling. So I think we're in a better spot for both of us vocally.
Finally.
Yes. I think the only issue right now I have with my audio settings is sometimes when I start to talk, like the first like half a second gets like gargled, which it's like it's a bunch of sliding a bunch of meters to just kind of find like the perfect settings for my voice specifically, and it's just a pain in the butt, but we're working on it. It's something that has been a problem for the past 3 seasons that I think we're just getting closer to perfecting.
I'm sure you'll have to take some sort of a audio engineering class at some point in time, and maybe you can take it as an elective and really get good at that.
Honestly, probably. I'm in this weird spot with like my program where it's a very broad program, so it can be very like broadcasting focused. It could also be very management focused. So I'm debating if I want to go more the broadcasting route, where then I would do like the audio, the video, and stuff like that, or if I want to do more of the management route, which would be like a project manager slash producer slash like basically a game developer. So we're in that zone where we're thinking about what we want to do exactly. So maybe audio classes, maybe not. And we're in Champ Select.
Yeah, speaking of thinking about the zone and what we're gonna do, we gotta figure out what are we gonna ban going into this game.
Goggles first up. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna ban?
I've had a lot of time to think about this.
I was told there was gonna be some very specific bans coming through against Sawabi, so 2 mid laners taken out in the first bit. No Victor, no Brilliant Soul.
It has some late game scaling mid laners. Seraphine, I love that ban too. Seraphine, so oppressive in the bot lane right now. Both on the support and the ADC role. So a strong ban there. Warwick is interesting to me though. Not super commonly banned or fielded in that top lane. Can be good though.
No Jarvan. They said absolutely not.
Yeah, saying he's not even on the other team. What are we? Wrong bracket.
Ooh, and a Senna ban. Have you seen the most recent update to Senna? Like what her build is?
Yeah, I have. Now that Senna's got that option of going like AP, and it just has really expanded what you can do on Senna. I've seen Senna being played in the ADC role and that support role. Very oppressive, especially on the support. Just can harass so incredibly well.
Mulder first pick.
Mulder, here we go as the first one, and obviously that can flex. God, 3 positions, top, mid, or bot.
It
so
better be
ADC.
ADC.
First pick here.
They better not try to take it top.
You say, but some of the best mid laners in the world taking that Smolder mid, very high priority. Would not be surprised to see it getting adjusted or banned before we go into Worlds.
You think so?
I think so. Absolutely. I think that ADCs in every lane, and especially Smolder mid, that is not the meta you want going into Worlds.
I might have to start playing some Smolder again. Do you know what the build is? Because, I mean, like I said, I haven't been playing a whole lot of League myself. So when they have, like, big changes like that, where people like Smolder come back in the meta, I'm like, what? Why? Since when? Because he's one of my favorite champions. I want to be able to play him, too.
Yeah, I think the big shift is not so much in the build, it's in the position. Smolder in a solo lane can just exist there forever. Mages can't poke him out, and so he just gets to scale quickly into that late game, just farming 1v1, very, very safe in a short lane with flap, flap, flap to just get away from any threat and just sort of sit there and do what you do best as Smolder and scale, and love the extra levels you're getting in a solo lane to boot.
To boot. Oh, I love seeing some tanks come through early. I always get to like the last pick. I'm like, where are the tanks? Well, we've already got Alistar and we've got Zac. So we've got some tanky boys. Let's see. Pick another
Alistair
tank.
Poppy. Yeah, your wish is definitely heard here. Allie and Poppy, both very strong supports. I think obviously Alice are going to be supporting here. Poppy strong in 2 other roles, so a very flexible team composition here, being drafted early on by Garen Skiat.
This is obviously Alistar mid.
Sensational. Or
Sensational.
Alistair top. Can happen.
Oh, it has happened. Spriggan. Oh god. Okay, Nami, Jin in the bot lane, it looks like.
Yeah, normally you see Jin paired with more of a poke lane, sort of a mage, or something with some long-range damage or CC for a quick follow-up with that deadly flourish. But Nami very, very strong in her own right, and Jin one of the strongest lane bully ADCs in the game right now. So no matter what they Garen Scat straps into this, Girl Boss Leona is going to have a powerful bot lane.
Yeah, I always take Jin and Nautilus right off if I can, because I do not want to deal with either of them in the bot lane. The Jin just goes too well with so many champions. Having any kind of CC at all basically just lets him double the CC. And as an ADC, you don't want to feel that.
I'd rather be home anyway.
Oh. No Aurora.
Yeah, Aurora having that potential to just bully any challenger in the top lane. That's definitely a solid ban. I think as the longer that champion's been out, the more Aurora has been seeing played, and just the priority on an Aurora pick has just gone up and up, both in the top lane and the mid lane.
To be the last pick, I mean last ban. Anivia. Okay. So we're making sure all the mid laners are taken out.
Yeah, I was about to say, targeting the mid lane of Girl Boss Leona for sure here, trying to delve deep into the pool.
Silas? Two, one, Vex! Oh, and thank you for following. It's do ever? Dodo ever?
Thank you for following. It's do ever, Dodo ever. Thank you.
I was almost excited to see the Silas, but also, like, I can already see that Girl Boss Leona is very sustain heavy, so I almost like that Vex is going to be more of the assassin, because I feel like if Smolder or even anybody on that team gets some kind of anti-heal, it's going to shut down a lot of the Nami heal, the Zac heal, and if Silas was on there, then that's just a whole lot of anti-heal on a big heal team. Lux made it through. No homophobic Lux ban this week.
Yes, Lux coming through, and that also starts to round out their composition. It looks like most certainly that's going to be a Smolder in the bot lane, and we do still see an ADC elsewhere on the map. So Quinn top blind here for Girl Boss Leona, or blind into Girl Boss Leona. So a very interesting pick here. Not one you normally see blinded.
Yeah, no kidding. And I think I've had pretty heavy critiques for Quinn every time I've seen her. I'm always like, oh, like she's really rough on the top side, but then people just always seem to pop off with her and prove me wrong. So I'm not going to make any presumptive decisions on this Quinn pick. And then we had a Nasus last pick over on Girl Boss Leona. So what do you think about the team comps?
Wow. I mean, you have this very, very beefy team with Garen Skiat, like the Smolder, the Poppy, and the Alistar. That core of 3 is going to be a very, very tough kind of team fight core to crack. And Lux can provide support as well through shields and a ton of damage. So that like core of 3, core of 4 is going to be very, very strong for Garen Skiat, especially because that Quinn probably, I mean, can join fights and try to assassinate, but can also stay in a side lane and really try to keep this lane spread out, because Quinn doesn't necessarily join, I feel, like a 5v5. I don't think that there's a true 5-man, like kind of well-rounded team fight in there with the Quinn in the top lane. However, going into Girl Boss Leona, very, very clear. They love to 5v5. They've got a great engage with Zac. Vex is able to follow up and create picks. The long-range pick potential of Girl Boss Leona is immense with so much CC. Jin can follow anything. So the one thing, though, is I'm not seeing a ton of sustained damage. Nasus is mostly your sustained damage over there. And will Nasus be split pushing? or will Nasus be joining fights? I'm not sure. I also don't really know how this Quinn Nasus matchup. I'm curious to see how this Quinn versus Nasus matchup is going to play out, because if Nasus can get to the point where a Wither just completely nullifies Quinn, then they're going to have a huge Nasus problem. But it could be that Quinn manages to kind of maintain his tether the whole time and do what needs to be done. So both these teams have very different ways they want to play this game.
I 100% see what you're saying. I am slightly favored towards Garen's Gyat. For once, I am not all about like the big team fight team. Because when I look at Girl Boss Leona, it is amazing team fight. You've got amazing front line between Nasus and Zac. You have split put potential with Nasus. You've got some great burst potential between Vex and Jin. Some great sustainability with the Nami. So it's good for slow team fights. But when you look at Garen's Gyat, they have pretty good team fight potential between the four minus Quinn. So you've got a good front line with Alistar Poppy to basically just hold the line while Smolder and Lux just kind of kite and do their damage. And they'll be able to push pretty hard and put some good pressure or defend very, very well. Where Quinn gets the opportunity to go out and do the split pushing or go do like a quick 1v1 and get some picks. So even if the Quinn loses top lane at first, let's say Quinn loses first tower, that actually gives her more options to split push that in and then flex for more roaming. So Nasus getting stuck up top would probably be more beneficial to Garen's Gyat than it would be harmful. I don't see Nasus being able to push in super, super hard with Garen Gyat's team comp so far. Now, if all five of them basically just try to team fight the entire time, I think it's going to go in Girl Boss Leona's favor, unless this Quinn gets super, super ahead. So like you said, very different win conditions here between the team fight comp and maybe the split push comp, but I honestly think this Quinn is going to make a huge difference in how the split push like works out. It's either going to be Nasus or it's going to be Quinn, and I think it's going to be Quinn.
I 100% agree that the importance of this game is going to be around this top lane, because the Quinn Nasus matchup is going to be volatile early, and if you're on either side of that, you want to have a lead going into the mid and the late game against your opponent, because it can go either way. And so that's going to be like a key to how this game plays out. So I'm very curious to see if our junglers are going to strategically path into this. Also remember that Capri had counterpick on Nasus, so Capri picked Nasus into this Quinn. So maybe there's a trick or two up Capri's sleeve to see, maybe he knows something about how this matchup might play out.
Now let's see. I got totally thrown off there. Oh my gosh, it's Quinn jungle.
No, it's not.
It's Quinn jungle.
Quinn jungle Poppy top. Okay, well.
And they have 3 teleports in 3 teleports into 2 teleports. What? And that is a Smolder mid, so it's a Lux Alistar bot side?
Smolder mid Lux. So we are getting the Smolder mid. I love it. I think you're right, though. I think that would arguably be the better composition here, to have that Lux Alistar. It's going to be a very strong duo there.
It could be a Smolder bot, it could be Lux mid, but I can't tell until we're in.
Yeah, we will see how this all shakes out. I think that the teleport does kind of portend a little bit of a mid lane Smolder, although we did see a Smolder with teleport a couple weeks ago in the bot lane. But yeah, and Smolder Vex is a matchup where Smolder can definitely just kind of hang in there early, because otherwise Smolder Alistar is a very passive lane against a super aggressive and strong Jin Nami. So it's a good way to dodge a bad matchup by moving that Smolder from the bot lane into the mid if they so choose. What interesting teams they've drafted here for Topaz Week 6. I'm very excited to see what happens.
We're pulling out all the stops. I am trying to get back into the game. I'm curious if this is the same issue we've had where like a player is having trouble loading in, so it ends up kicking me out, or if we're just having another issue. But should be fixed here pretty soon. Let's go ahead and force close League of Legends.
I also know absolutely nothing about Quinn jungle. I can't think of oh, there's a huge fun message.
Yeah, it's like error, file dump, error.
Oh
Okay.
no. Oh no. It's because Quinn is jungling. It just does not compute. It definitely broke my brain.
Does not compute. Does not commute. All right,
Yeah,
loading back in.
Take 2 here.
Take 2. Oh my goodness. So Hangif, jungle, Quinn. Let me look at Hangif's stats. I'm just very curious here. Let's take a look at their profile. Make sure this music gets turned off in League. Pull up all of the right boxes, scoreboard, objective timers. Don't need those. Oh, are they gonna do an invade? Please.
And then also it makes me wonder if maybe this was was it Poppy top initially and then Quinn, or was it Poppy jungle initially and then the Quinn pick made it flex to top lane? But I'm very interested. I hope we have a post game interview as the invade is on. All
the
5
invade
members.
is on.
they have been spotted though, so they know. Garen's Giats knows this is happening.
Just do it. Do it anyways. Yeah, Hangif is a jungle main, it looks like. It looks like they flexed into support for maybe 2 games in the previous games, but almost entirely jungle. So they're an experienced jungler. They may not have just been shoved into this role. So they know what they're doing.
I have absolutely no doubt.
It is the Smolder mid. Okay. Well, now I'm going to see what I have to start building, because now I'm going to start playing again, and I'm going to just main Smolder mid.
Yeah.
This is all I needed to know. I think it's going to be very important for this Vax to put as much pressure on Smolder as she can. Basically, just denying as much farm as possible, as many stacks as possible. You do not want him to just free stack for this entire game and get to the execute range too quickly.
It's just so challenging. You step up, and then immediately you're going to eat a Q right in the face, and so there's a stack. Like, maybe you win the HP trade, but you're giving away stacks, and then pushing in waves it's very hard to zone and deny out of the mid lane. So I love this Smolder here in the mid. I'll have to keep an eye on the game time and that stat count to see how quickly Holographite is able to get to that 225 threshold. Poggle going right in. Cabri, goodbye health bar, level 2 all in. Easy.
That's my least favorite thing about League of Legends is the level 2 all-in BS. Man, just really making Alistar eat it.
A simple little counter engage. This is the one
early
thing
gank.
you want to... Oh, Hank showing up early. This is what you want to do. Support that Smolder.
Oh!
Sweat, baby.
Flapped in!
That fight gets out of there. First kill going towards Smolder. That's what you want on your hyper carry.
Nasus is gonna be another one of those characters I just listen to the entire game as he goes, huh, huh, every single ability, every auto attack. I think I made a clip of last week when it was like Trundle and Yorick just up there like, ha, huh, 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 the entire time. Uh-oh, that's some big CC coming down the Lux. The Alistar said, no thanks, get out of here. Oh, big damage going down the Jhin. He's burning. He's burning. Alistar wants it. Oh, we got the speed boost. And he's out. Alistar's like, I might be low health, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to jump in on you. That Jhin is looking juicy. We've got Smolder here, already grabbed a tier, already at 21 stacks. Oh, the flash engaged, but the double flash gets him out. They CC'd back, and he goes down. Kill number 2. That makes it even, 1-1.
Rolling Star or not Rolling Star, Neff so ready on that flash. You knew that Eli was looking for it. Oh, that thought is Hank arriving in the top lane. Capri forced the ghost away, but not enough distance. Kill secured there by Poggle.
That electrocute proc from the Quinn was what really did that in. Just that third auto attack. Oh no, Lux, you're in danger. But the Zac does get disrupted, so he's not coming in. The flash saves her. Oh, not in turret range. Really? I would have bet my life that that was in turret range. She was just standing in that range. He had to be on the cusp. Be careful, Poggle. You're running low. Let's go ahead and do a Smolder stat check. He's at 35 already. 35 at 5.5 minutes? That is very quick.
And it only accelerates. The more stacks you get, the faster it goes. I feel like the 120, I feel like the Doldrums really are in that 25 to 125, because once you get 125, you are stacking so quickly as Smolder. Yeah. It's just a matter of time.
Everything just dies to one of your Qs, so easy stacks. Man, they are bullying this doggo. Level 4 Quinn said, I am not going to stop ganking.
This is all without the Valor movement speed, so I can't imagine what Hanks is going to be doing once they've got that speed to really work with. And a Tiamat first to help with that quick wave clear or jungle clear as they go through the camps, and now starting up that first neutral objective. But Girl Boss Leona knows about this.
Yeah, and they are under-leveled. They are level 4 versus level 5. I think Zac is even getting close to level 6 at this point. So she really does need to take advantage of that Tiamat and get some wave clear going. Because the ganks, while are great for getting your team ahead, leaving you behind isn't going to be the greatest in the long run either. And those things are hurting. Oh my goodness.
All 3 members of Girl Boss Leona just holding out in that fog of war and just taking on Holographite, trying to move to help support his jungler. Goodbye, Holographite. So that should be 3 moving in for Girl Boss Leona. They brought up their Nami to assist with this. Great movement by Patchiform.
Ooh, Pop, you do not want to go in there. Stay out of there, Poggle. You ain't got backup. Looks like it is going to be 3 grubs going to Girl Boss Leona. Dragon is up, so it was not the standard swap. I'm wondering if Girl Boss Leona is just going to reset and maybe refocus to that Dragon, which I think would be theirs in this situation because the Quinn is still under-leveled. So they're not going to be a huge threat in one of those fights.
Yeah, they do have a strong fight. They've got Jhin, and they've got this Vax that they can use. Smolder's still scaling, so not super powerful in some sort of an early fight around Dragon. Their bot lane also doesn't, their enemy bot lane's just now hitting 6. Alistar still does not have it, so this would be a time to fight with a ultimate advantage here.
Let's go. I think Zac's gonna grab this blue, then probably head over to the Dragon. I hope this gets him level 6. It does.
Neff and Patchiform just waiting in that brush.
Next flash.
You've already Eli rather.
Nami's caught out. That's some big damage. Oh, and the Lux passive gets her down. Jhin knows the Zac is coming. Cooldowns are on. Oh, get back here, Lux. Whack. No ult on the Alistar, so he's gonna take a curtain call to the face. Oh, one more. Oh, and he gets him. Man, this game is action-packed. Everyone's watching that Dragon.
Yeah, that is going to be the very important objective. Both sides continuing to hover and get that vision. I love what Garen's Gyat did there and just kind of hanging out, trying to force something into that bot lane, rather than taking a recall. They do have teleport, so they knew that they could. That's what teleport affords you as a mage lane. You have the opportunity to take a good fight like that when normally you'd have to use your back timer. Poggle going into Capri here has had a lot of ganks, but ultimately now being bullied by this Nasus, who was at the start of that a level behind. And so has managed to even up the CS as well. Great job by Capri there in that top lane.
I mean, that's kind of Nasus for you too. Like once you get to this this level 8, level 7, that's when they start to really get into the game. 'Cause before that, they can't do much of anything. Whereas Poppy, if she's not super ahead, she's not going to be huge impact until she gets a couple items put on her. Whack.
And on the opposite side of the map, it looks like Dragon has been started up here. You know, neither side wants to give this up without a fight. Eli going in on the top of the fight, but here, Nep and Patrick trying to find a pick onto Hank. Doesn't quite work. And meanwhile, in the top lane, Poggle actually gets the better of that 1v1. So now we've got 4v4 here around Dragon. Both sides continue to go. Rolling Star finding that elastic slingshot all the way into the back line, taking out Eli. He's been taken down, but Tiddlywinks will try to send someone for 40 Winks, but Pegasus himself, and Nep goes on a killing spree. Jin walking away from that one, having now taken out the enemy smite.
That means Dragon for Girl Boss Leona is up for the grabsies. Hachi said, stay away from my Dragon. Lux Laser is down, so I do not think she's going to be stealing that. Spoon said, Zach, you got this, right? Good job, Rolling Star. That is a curtain call, but the cow said no.
They had the leather drapes in front of that Lux there, but Rolling Star now trying to lock things down. Nep can follow up, but just one auto is all it'll be. 3 kills now onto this Jin.
That is dangerous. That is very dangerous. Especially into Garen's Gats team, because like you've got Poppy and Alistar that are tanky, but they're probably not going to be the targets. Whereas a Jin 4th shot will probably almost take out a Lux, a Smolder, or a Quinn.
And that also means that Nep will have the first major item completion in that collector in the top lane now. Capri just saying, eat this siphoning strike.
Bye.
One to the other. It'll have to be the keeper's verdict to buy the space. Goodbye, Capri.
I love how Smolder has to tank for the Quinn. Like, I'm too squishy, please help. This the last one I'm gonna go to.
Right now in the middle of 3.
On the grubs. They lose the cow over it. We're having hamburgers tonight. Oh, did it catch him? Yes, please go in there.
Girlboss Leona pushing deep into the jungle of Garen's Gyat here. Establishing that vision control, pushing them off of these objectives, and now it is all hands on deck for the mid lane. You talked about vision early, and just look, the amount of wards, the amount of pink wards that I've already seen in this game, everyone just running up the score.
Seriously. Got 17 to 15 on the supports here. Oh, just kidding, I just updated. 15 to 22. Let's do a Smolder stack check. 95 at 13 minutes. Like, so many aggressive flashes this game. I'm also noticing in the top side, Poppy thinks they're going to win these fights because they're able to basically pop off all their abilities and get the big burst down first, and it looks like they're going to win. But Nasus has the bigger advantage in the longer fights. He has much better sustain. So he does end up coming out on top for the most part. He's about to get some assistance from Zach here. Poppy is in danger. She's trying to take someone with her. No such luck.
Oh, no way. Poggle falls there. And that's what you were, as you were saying, because it's burst damage and sustain damage, really the answer there is jungle interference. Whichever side gets that jungle while those big fights are happening is going to easily come out on top. And I'm surprised now that we haven't seen Hang on this Quinn kind of trying to get up there now that Valor is in the game to make sure this Poppy can hang around in this game. 2-2, 100 creep apiece in that top lane, but Nasus getting the better of these turret plates.
I think the Quinn is just struggling to keep up. They do not have a lot of health. They are very, very squishy. See, they're at level 8 versus level 9 on the Zac, so they're still a little bit behind in XP as well.
Going to be able to sneak into the spot lane. Don't know about it, but that ability is gonna reveal, I think, the fact that they're in that brush. Hank now showing off, forcing the flash out of Patch Form's Nami.
You're in danger, Hank.
Point shot coming in here. There's two members arriving here. Tidal Wave come down, trying to lock down this Alistar, but it's Tiddlywing trying to get away, flashing out of that bubble, and look who's here. Holographic down to the side. The flap, the mom comes through. Oh, but you see the Shadow Surge lands there onto the back line. Not going to be able to commit to it. Curtain Call, not finding any targets, and so somehow multiple teleports committed, and there is no death here in that, or only Eli, right, in the bot lane there dying.
That's how you know you're in a Topaz game, when there's tons of teleports, huge fights, and not a whole lot of deaths. These players know when to get in and when to get out. Ooh, see, this is what I'm talking about. Every time Quinn tries to participate, she gets exploded. If they were in the top side, they might have the opportunity to kind of like split push and hang out, but they're kind of forced to get into these fights if they're not really winning. And again, we're in a longer fight here, so Nasus is probably gonna come out on top here. Very close. Oh, and it does go to Poppy.
I think minions were the difference in that one, just fighting in that Poppy minion line by just a fraction. Was the extra damage needed for Poppy. Any more damage would have been the end there. So now Capri gets to eat that gray screen. Does complete an armor item there. So Frozen Heart and Sunfire Cape there in the top lane. 2 armor items complete for this Poppy and Nasus.
I'm almost curious if the Trinity Force Rush would have been better for the Nasus just to win those more extended fights. I do agree with the armor pick. I just feel like maybe it should have been a second or third item because, yeah, there's a lot of damage coming from the Smolder and the Quinn as far as AD. But Poppy isn't really an AD carry, so I'm less worried about their damage, at least for our first item. I would just kind of want to out-damage that.
Well, speaking of Trinity Forces, a Trinity Force now is complete. That Smolder has picked up that first item. So Trinity Force, is it Trinity Force Muramana, the build here? So going to be a little bit tanky, have a little bit of burst.
The classic Ezreal build. Got it. Ezzy Sweeney says, hi. Hi, Ezzy Sweeney.
Rolling Star says hello to Eli in the river here, who's now trying to run away, but instead forced to turn around. Headbutt, Pulverize comes through, which is going to lock the enemies in place. Tidal Wave now securing Poggle. Holographites come down. They're completely surrounded here, but Capri's also joining the fight. We have 5v5 here as Swaby takes out the first one, and now the back line just falling apart. Neff just getting to space perfectly here. As Lux ultimate final spark of the whole team fight, so there's only 2 members left with very low HP bars. Swaby trying to poke down. The Smolder will dive in. Swaby it out. The flap over the wall is enough, and now Tiddlywing trying to go away. Oh, and Rolling Star coming in, just secures Smolder on the back side of that, and now you've got to do some dodges. Takes it down for the A's. What a fight.
Oh my god, what a fight.
And who comes out way ahead of that fight is Girl Boss Leona, and especially Neff on this Jhin, who manages to come out almost unscathed. Hank now trying to pick up something on the other side of that, playing that assassin, but the spacing here on this Jhin, too strong.
Yeah, like I was saying when we were in Team Select, this Quinn is very much a game changer. It's either going to be super positive or super negative. And with their team comp, it was really dependent on them basically just getting super fed and being able to catch picks. But in this situation with them having been so behind in the jungle early on, they weren't able to have like a huge impact in fights aside from the first gank or two. And now rather than being able to flank, their flanking is turning into being caught out and basically just leaving Garen's Gat minus one person. So I don't see them coming back for this unless Quinn is able to really pick up a bunch of shutdowns here, because Girl Boss Leona is rolling in it right now. We got 7-15, they got a 4K gold lead, and 2 dragons over Garen's Gat.
Trying to find a little pick on a Tiddlywink, who does have that fruit available but cannot get out.
Ooh.
The team arriving. Waby, see ya later. Taking out that Lux, now going over the wall, and once again, now gonna find the route onto Eli, immediately easily followed up by that Aqua Prism, but it might be a turnaround. Here's Hank arriving, lots of bricks.
Burning down.
The head buff does in fact finish it. Neff down to half HP, looking for more is Rolling Star. Now you've got to dodge another curtain call. First shot connects, second shot, third shot forces the flash, and there is no force.
He's going in.
So come here. There's something you can't dodge. Take this siphoning. And then of course Neff will find it with a deadly flourish.
I'm flabbergasted. These team fights they're so spread out. Like I keep having to zoom out so far to even catch most of the action, and it's just so focused and so, oh my gosh, like it's so action packed. I'm really enjoying the team fights in this game. It looks like it's gonna be a first Baron.
The decisiveness, just as soon as they win the fight, are like, okay, let's go test Baron. Maybe they don't have it warded. Garen's Gat did have some knowledge of it, so moved in and quickly pushed them off, but they were ready to take that if Garen's Gat had let them.
Mr. Raccoon said Patchy's team is slaying, and Spriggan said, is that a Quinn jungle? It is a Quinn jungle.
It is a Quinn jungle, yes indeed.
Mm-hmm. It also doesn't feel good to be a Quinn jungle into a Zac and Nasus who both just rushed armor, like straight up. Maybe you can take out some of the squishies, but good luck reaching them. The flanking just isn't working out because Zac is just so, like, positioned so well to make sure that no one's able to just kind of get behind the Jhin, the Nami, and Vex can basically handle themselves. I mean, Vex is 6-2, Jhin is 8-0. Their damage is crazy. So when Quinn shows up on screen, Quinn is dead. And thank you for following, Hey Dream. Appreciate the follow. Run, Nabi, run. They want sushi. Down she goes. All right, that is a kill to Quinn. Maybe get her a little extra gold. Spriggan says, I believe in the Quinn and Alistar team. That's because those are 2 champions that you play. Alright, Quinn is committed to getting more shutdowns. Oh, they accidentally hit some of the minions instead of the Nasus, and they are stuck in there with the Wither. Poppy said, please get off my Quinn.
And now you can't just bring 2 against this Nasus. If Poppy and Quinn together cannot do it alone. Too much armor. It's just too easy to itemize against that. It's going to be a challenge here for Garen's Gat to deal with Nasus here in the top lane. And soon this turret will fall demolished. Already about to go out. They'll try once more to turn it on to Capri. Hank arrives. Their Wither goes down. They're spacing it out well. Poggle too tanky to just drop. So Capri takes the turret but loses his life.
Honestly, this is better for Quinn that turret is finally down. Because now Poppy can probably rotate more into the mid and the bot lane, focus on team fights, and Quinn can focus on clearing camps, focusing the objectives, and then just split pushing the top side as hard as possible. They have the Profane Hydra now, so they can take that split push approach. Even though they aren't necessarily a top laner, it still gives them the option to basically flex into that role, split push is super hard, and have an impact aside from these team fights that aren't really working out for her as much. It's going to be another dragon fight. This would be number 3 for Girl Boss Leona if they can secure it. And Quinn is going back.
Does have Valor super quick out of base, though. This one,
you're right.
Elo taken off, already joining the fight, deciding to just jungle on the way. That is a death rush if I've ever seen one. Eli figured it out and backed away just in the nick of time. Elastic Slingshot charging up, but Rolling Star not going to take it yet. They're just going to be patient here, recognizing that they don't need to force anything. They have the advantage. They have the inside position on this dragon.
Oh, I'm very nervous about the Quinn being at the front of this. Please don't get caught out, Hanguf. We don't want you caught out. Alistar engaging. That's much better. Waiting for Mom to come through. Ride the wave. Curtain call. Mom! Ooh, we got the Smolder execute going. Pow, pow, pow! Recommitting, but they're very low in health on Girl Boss Leona, and they all go down. That is going to be another dragon for Girl Boss Leona.
But let me say, that could have gone either way. As you called it, Smolder has access to that execute, and so that was huge in that team fight. So many Super Scorcher Breaths just raining down on Girl Boss Leona. I think they thought they had that easily after the initial engage and disengage against that Alistar, but it was very close, and a huge shutdown also was taken by Garen's Gyat as Neff does finally fall for the first time this game.
I think it's very smart for Girl Boss Leona to be patient with these fights and let this Alistar engage on it. Oh, they're recommitting. They took that dragon way too slow. The laser. Oh, Mazak just secures it.
And now the fight just continues. It really is anyone's game here. Tiddlywinks back in this. Hank arriving, going to try to assassinate on the back. Is finally finding an angle, and Capri is going to go down as well. Double kill for this Quinn. Is it going to be another one? And a shutdown here, so they managed to extend the fight out. They couldn't quite take Dragon quickly enough. They claim it, but lose a lot of members.
Yeah, they turned that fight around really quick. That fourth shot, like I was saying, those three, aside from the Poppy and the Alistar, fourth shot, bam, gone. Yeah, in the chat, Hey Dream was saying, hello, I'm kind of new here. Is there a schedule or anything like that for which tier of teams will be streamed? Mr. Raccoon did a good job in answering in that we basically go Pearl, Ruby, Topaz. This week we're in Topaz. We are watching the highest ranked players. I believe we are Platinum and higher, or Diamond and higher. Oh, that's a curtain call. One more, and down she goes.
Red team's turret has been
Neff here finding the count of 4, getting that 4th shot for a kill, finding all 4 notches of that curtain call. So scoring more kills after bouncing back after 1 death. Hank now trying to chase down this Jhin. Finds it, finds the blind. Final spark there, not quite enough damage. The final attack doesn't do it. Going on a spree now, and still able to participate. And now Eagle in the middle of everyone. Open securing the kill onto that Jhin, so taking down Neff there.
Gosh, what I was saying before things got crazy again, I think it's very smart that Girl Boss Leona allows the Alistar to start these fights, because Alistar goes in and then he's on cooldowns. He's got nothing else. He basically just has ult to sit there and tank up damage. So allowing the Alistar to basically go on full cooldown so they can't peel off anybody is ideal for Garen's Gyat to basically just be like, for Girl Boss Leona to just turn the fight back around. That's a whole lot less CC coming back at them.
They want this Baron, but they've been getting whittled away here by the poke from Holographite and Tiddly, and there's already execution through, and now they've turned around, and it didn't even have enough time for the HP to reset, and so just like that, they were just down 4,000 gold. Now they've jumped out into the lead. Garen's Gyat coming back because of this Smolder.
You know, like we were saying before the game started, Girl Boss Leona is a very slow-paced team comp. So when they start these objectives, they're taking forever to take them, which basically just allows the entire dead team of Garen's Gyat to respawn, come back, and take back what they feel is rightfully theirs. And now that you've got Smolder with his execute, he's at 288 stacks. And with the Baron buff now, they're able to push this in extremely hard. We've got the Quinn doing the split push, finally taking the top turret. Things are now going in Garen's Gyat's favor after a little bit of a struggle for about 25 minutes.
Blue team's turret has been
Yeah, it is wild. They're down 8 kills, they're down 3 dragons, but they're up 3,000 gold now, and they've pushed deep into the side of Girl Boss Leona, and they're not stopping here as they've managed to pick up yet another one. However, Girl Boss Leona does not want to let this opportunity slip away. They feel like their opponents have overextended. The curtain call opens up and has a lot of members of Garen's Giat in that range, but missing the final shot means that there's not quite enough. The damage coming down. Another execute here, and somehow, with the help of Smolder, they managed to stave off yet another win inside of their opponent's jungle.
You know, that's the power of a scaling champion. Okay, and Smolder did just grab the Mortal Reminder, so the anti-heal just got real. So the Nasus, the Zac, the Nami, their healing all just got cut significantly. So that's going to be massive for these team fights.
Now trying to kite out this Alistar has been chunked down low by that combination of the final spark. May not have an opportunity to reset to get that health back in Jhin. Not someone who can just build a Bloodthirster and get it back here. Ooh, teleport's coming out of base to try to get to this dragon. This is their 4th dragon, and this might be the closest that it may be. They're only 1,000 gold down. They have 3 dragons. They still have a strong team fight. You've got this 15 and 2.
Don't get caught. Oh, they can hit a Poppy, but maybe not the squishies. Yes, Brigand, Smolder is snacking. Snacked. They've started it.
Probing the sides there on this Quinn, trying to find any angle. One squishy out alone, and so that means that Girl Boss Leona kind of Hank on this Quinn, kind of herding the whole team together into this AoE clump, which is really perfect for this Smolder. Final Spark coming through, Rolling Star losing a lot of HP.
Vexalt misses.
That Shadow Surge does not land. Now they're in. It's anybody's game, 50-50 on this. Tiddlywink taking down that Nasus, and Red Team takes it, so that means that they're going to be on 4 dragons. Now they're trying to just disengage from this fight. So Jhin executing that dragon, meaning they're going to earn Ocean Soul.
And Ocean Soul is, I think, probably the most ideal augment for these guys because they are a very longer fight, very extensive, what's the word? Oh my gosh, I can't get it. Sustaining team.
Yes.
They have a lot of sustain, so adding that extra regen to their health on top of the mana regen, it's just going to help them have those extended fights and make them a lot more effective. Especially when you're getting burned by the giant smolder damage.
We're at 32 minutes and less than 600 gold divides these two teams. And I mean, on paper, it was looking like Girl Boss Leona might have the better 5v5, but Garen's Giat and this late game Smolder has something to say about it. It is so close. I have no idea where this game's going to go in the next few minutes.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like unless Vex and Zac are able to get to that Smolder and stop him from flat-flapping his way out, these team fights are going to largely go in favor of Garen's Giat. So it really depends on the abilities landing here, on the very specific people, which is hard when you've got Poppy and Alistar standing in the way.
But don't sleep on this Nasus. I mean, Capri being able to just kind of stack up only at 160 farm, but does have a lot of stacks on this Nasus, and the longer it goes, the stronger that champion gets as well. So they can answer a little bit of this stack for stack here, as now Garen's Giat starting to push into the base of Girl Boss Leona. Let's see if they're going to let them take this inhibitor, if they want to try to fight over it.
I think they're just taking a second to let Quinn kind of split push on the side before they maybe rotate to the side to help them out. So I don't think they're able to get this inhibitor here.
Yeah, Girl Boss Leona not going to give this up without a fight. They've got... And they still have that catch potential. Nami can send on a tidal wave. You've got any amount of damage that can trigger that follow-up by Jhin. So yeah, you're right. All 5 now rotating to that bot lane.
Clear that vision. We got 86 to 105 on the supports as far as vision score goes. 105, Nami breaking 100 first. Congratulations, Nami. And that's patchy for him. We're talking about them having a crazy vision score. Hey Dream says, I believe in the NASA's bonk power. What about the Smolder fireball power? I'm Team Smolder, but I'm a little bit biased.
It's so interesting in the mid game here. They keep Garen's Gat continues to send this Quinn to to reset waves to go catch both the bot and the top wave, knowing that with that movement speed they can just arrive at a team fight very quickly. So they're just kind of funneling a lot of extra CS onto their jungler right now as Quinn continues to probe for any squishy target, and now going back to the bot lane. And it's challenging because Nasus is pinned, still at just 100 in the 160s for farm, unable to get that stack up. But meanwhile, Smolder continuing to get a little bit stronger. Granted, he is at 225, so not that much more, but still
We got
significant.
444 on the Nasus.
Oh my.
360 on Smolder. 363. Oh my gosh. He said, that's my camp. Bye. And we are getting to the point where Quinn has now been able to catch up, and the strategy that we were talking about is happening. The four of them are basically able to hold a lane while Quinn goes out, split pushes, and then is either to come back and join the team fight after getting an objective, or pull somebody away to that side lane so that they're able to win by themselves, or she can just keep split pushing. All the options are available to them now that Quinn is on the map.
The Dragon or Baron has just respawned. Elder is also coming up soon.
Ooh, Elder on Smolder. Oh.
We'll see how these teams decide to itemize. Quinn showing mid, but can't find anything. Tidal Wave temporarily down here, but looks like every team will just reset. It's almost like they can see one another, all just handshaking a base here
Like,
before these objectives go up.
Restart. Might as well. Nasus and Quinn trying to split push on that side of lanes. Nasus is like, are you in this bush? Are you in this bush? Where are you?
And neither team has decided to care about this Baron. It is all hands on deck for an Elder. It's too important at this point in the game to just trade away.
Oh boy.
Full lands, you're not going anywhere quickly. That's going to be a big portion of Eli's health bar gone before this fight starts. They're looking to engage, though, off of that, using the bush meat. Rolling Star way into the background. Poppy, Logic of dead. You can't go into a bouncing onto the back line, but there's just no follow-up right now. That means the first execute's already going to land. The Zac going to go down here, but they do find Eli. So 2 tanks now gone for these teams. They're repositioning, forced to flash away from that bubble. You have Poppy now rooted. They're just front to backing this team fight. Capri sits away, and somehow Gobos Leona has gotten into the background and managed to out DPS this Dion. They take it down with a shutdown, triple kill, and they say, I don't care about this Elder Dragon. We're gonna look for the game.
Let's just go win, guys. You might be right, Dream. It's the Nasus bonk power for the win. Although there was also a lot of Jhin bonk power. Like, holy cow, those autos were just basically one-shotting those carries. Lux was gone in a second. Smolder, gone in an auto. And that's the power of Jhin and why he is always banned in my games.
Eli gonna try to headbutt his adversaries away. He's got to hold for 19 seconds. Another minion wave arriving. He's just got too much sustain. And count to 4 shots on that Nexus is going to mean that Girl Boss Leona, it was in doubt, but they've managed to clutch that W out. Well played.
Seriously, it got scary there for a minute, but you know, This is the every time I'm like, yay, like let's go against the team fight comp for once and try something else. Every time I do that, the team fight comp ends up winning. Which is great for you guys. I love that, but I also don't like being disproved. Well, based on what we saw before we get into the next game, who do you think was MVP for the game?
I honestly don't know if I should give it to most damage dealt or highest vision score, and I'm honestly tempted to give it to Patchiform, who had such an incredible job disengaging for his team, keeping that Jhin alive, and just running up the vision. You can't win against a Quinn without really good vision, and I think that Patchiform played incredibly well in that game.
You know, we're gonna do an MVP in the bot lane. MVP going to Neff and Patchiform. That the teamwork and it was just chef's kiss. Excellent job, guys. Congratulations, MVP, Neff on Jhin and Patchiform on Nami. Woohoo! That was probably one of the most action-packed games I've ever watched. They are in lobby, but the lobby is full. I cannot get in. Let's see.
We believe in Fakov.
So move to spectate, please. Let me in. There we go. Wonderful. Everyone's already in here. Oh, and I see Boomer the Walrus is in this game. Boomer the Walrus is #1 on the charts with an immense amount of kills. They have 128 kills with a 4.5 KDA this season with a 90% win rate.
Okay, Boomer.
Dang it, Sam! Well, gotta stream mark that one. Okay, Boomer. So I expect there to be a lot of kills in this one. Skippy says that's a master tier player for you. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. So let's see. What's the name of their team? We've got Girl Boss Leona versus... I'm on the wrong
Shyvana
screen.
Simps.
Shyvana Shimps. Topaz. Shyvana Shimps. Shyvana Simps consists of Fakov, Boomer the Walrus, Nyan Diamond, Pichu Uwu, and Spoons, or Spoons, because there's an accent on one of the O's. I believe it was Pichu Uwu that we were looking for in the chat. Hey Dream was looking for Pichu, so if you're watching still, you get to see a Pichu game. They said, hey, let's go Pichu! Woohoo! Let's take a look at Pichu's track record. I believe they're a support main, if I remember correctly. Looks like they had, last week they had a game on Aurora, a game on Ahri, and then we got Seraphine, Nami, Soraka, Janna, Emilio, so a lot of support games. Looks like they might have flexed into the mid lane last week, unless they went support Aurora or support Ahri, which I really hope they didn't. I don't need to see another support Aurora game in my life ever again. I think I told you last week or the week before that one of my friends went support Aurora while I was ADC, and I was like, this doesn't work. I don't like this. Yeah, Hey Dream says he's a Masters mommy. Mommy Masters? Mommy Meat Flaps? Are we gonna see
Ooh, a meat
what's her name?
flaps out of
Belveth?
Spoons?
Yeah, Mommy Meat Flap Spoons. They said, we ready. Perfect. They're about to load in. I'm gonna warm up my coffee. Just kidding, there's a fly in my coffee. Gosh darn it!
Oh,
That
no.
Well, I caught that fly. It's just in my drink. Boo.
Who dares defy my will?
Gross. All right, no Jarvan again.
Will be understood eventually.
I said no Jhin. That's not happening again.
Tragic.
There's been a lot of hate on Aurelion Sol today. I think it was banned a lot last week as well.
What did I do?
No Smolder. Are we just banning that entire team?
You get the dragons out of here, get the past team out there. Very similar bands. On one side, though.
Liam Savangsa says, "Hi, Sam."
Hello, Liam. We're the champions.
I don't need more.
This Liam was on my championship-winning volleyball team.
Oh,
Thanks for tuning in, Liam.
We are the
Yeah, we play
champions.
eSports and sports with CMSA. So, and he's very good, very, very good at beach volleyball. We're lucky to have him on my team.
I wanted to play CMSA soccer, but I signed up for one season and then I never went because the games were so early and I was so lazy.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of running.
I don't like running. I played soccer for 14 years, don't get me wrong, but I played defense usually, which had less running. Liam says, beach volleyball champs. Seraphine first picked. Man, Seraphine is really a contested champion lately.
Yeah, it can flex into the ADC or the support role. Pichu Uwu has had some tremendous games on Seraphine that we've seen. Or, of course, could go onto the ADC. Ooh, an interesting first pickup. Sivir, not a champion you see a lot, can be a very strong scaling option, though, for a team.
I don't love Sivir in general. Anytime I've played, she just feels very low action for one. Very low impact unless you have a team that is great with coordinating, which we are in Topaz. So there could be some great coordination with Sivir, and I am excited to see some gameplay surrounded around that ultimate. Because in my leagues, no one's using Sivir's ult for anything except to run away. So it's basically just a ghost. And with Janna, you got some even bigger speed boosts. It looks like the Seraphine is going to be in the support, maybe in the mid lane, but probably in the support lane with the Jinx as the hyper carry ADC.
And a smart hyper carry pick here because this is the pick that can out DPS the Sivir, who is a hyper carry herself, but it's hard to beat Jinx and Jinx, of course. I'm interested to see if we're gonna see this new Korean Jinx build here, where you go for the early game kind of collector opportunity, lethality play style, and just rely on getting an early reset through collector and opportunity to give you that attack speed, or if we'll go the more traditional Infinity Edge, Runan's Hurricane sort of look.
Oh, interesting. I haven't seen the Korean build just yet.
It is very strong. I've been spamming Jinx in my games. I don't know if it's I've been trying out that build to great success, but I'm not sure if it's a placebo. How good is it really? Gragas is going to be interesting because you've got an immobile carry on the other side, so that gives you another tool to kind of bring them into your team. So I love the Gragas pick here.
And we had an Echo pick as well. So far, I'm loving the Piltover theme that's going on over on Shyvana Simps. Which, speaking of, we need to change the name there. Shyvana Simps.
Oh, gotta start targeting this top lane. Sion going down for Fakov. See if any of the favorites slip through.
Man, the fact that we've had 4 ADC bans. Uh-oh. And no Vex.
I'm absolutely livid.
I haven't seen a Vladimir game in a minute. I wonder if they're worried about a specific person playing Vladimir?
Yep, that's I haven't seen. I don't know if Fakov plays any Vladimir in the top lane. I'm not sure about mid lane. Could be a mid lane here, perhaps. I don't know. Interesting bans for sure.
I don't see a Volibear ban. Are we gonna get a Volibear on Fakov again? Are they gonna let it through? Is it gonna be picked? That was a mistake if you guys let him have that.
Okay, Cassiopeia, so a little bit more sustained damage here. I saw the flip in between Lissandra for the hard CC, or Cassiopeia for a little bit of CC, and that very, very nice amounts of damage. An
Aurora
old
maybe
school
for the
team
mid.
for Girl Boss.
Yeah, seriously, like Gen 1 champions. Vigar going to the mid lane. I love me a scaling champion. Oh? Oh? Okay,
I
he's
just have to
cheesing
hold.
now.
I just have to hold my gasp until after the actual lock in,
Right.
or until loading screen, like with the smite on Quinn. So
Right.
see if there's anything cooking here for game 2.
Hey, that's the
there's a
Udyr.
top pick. Okay.
Let's say that's the secondary one after the Volibear. See who are they gonna choose to go up against it? Darius. Time to get dunked. All right. Well, what do you think about the team comp so far?
I think that both these teams want to fight front to back, which usually leads to some very exciting team fights. I don't think certainly less so than in game 1, where we saw two very different ideas and approach to fighting. This time, I think it is you want to protect your carries at all costs and just slowly chew through the enemy team. There's not really any massive tanks. I mean, you've got Udyr and Darius kind of bringing a little bit of off-tankiness to this Gragas as well, and then you kind of get the Gragas / the Seraphine shields to keep that front line up. So we'll see how these team fights play out. I think that the identity of these two teams is so similar, it's going to just come down to who can execute better. And I will say, I really, really like Jinx in these big clumped up fights, which it's going to just be hard for Girl Boss Leona to avoid. They kind of need Darius and Gragas to be there frontlining together. And unless you're immediately getting on to Boomer to Walrus on this Jinx, that's going to be a very, very difficult chore for Sivir to try to out DPS what Shyvana Simps has put together.
Yeah, when I'm looking at it, like Girl Boss Leona has it has the potential to really go off, especially if Darius gets a few early kills, because Darius can 1v5, like if he gets ahead enough. I don't think that's gonna be the scenario in this situation. Cassiopeia is kind of like the weird pick for me, just because she isn't very mobile, like at all. So, and she doesn't have a ton of peel. Like she's got a little bit of peel from the Janna, but I feel like the Janna's probably be focusing most on the Sivir. So I feel like Cassiopeia has a little bit of danger here with the Echo engage, Udyr speed boost, Vigar cages. Like there's just a whole lot that's gonna catch her out, and her sustained damage I feel like is going to be outmatched by the immense amount of burst damage that's coming out of Shyvana Simps. Shyvana Simps has a much better engage with the Seraphine ultimate, and then gap closing between the Echo and the Udyr. So I feel like they're going to have more control over these fights. And I feel like Jinx is going to out damage the Sivir in these long fights too. So this bot lane is going to make a huge difference. If Jinx and Seraphine are shut down super hard, then that's going to let Girl Boss Leona have a chance here. But I feel like the Jinx Seraphine combination is going to be a lot stronger and a lot more aggressive than the Sivir Janna. Yeah, so I think I'm going to lean towards Shyvana Simps here, because Shyvana Simps just really has a lot more damage, a lot more utility, whereas Girl Boss Leona, they can win fights, but their damage is a little bit slower. It's just a little bit slower. And speed is the name of the game in this fight.
It's going to be, if Girl Boss Leona is going to have a hope, it's going to be clumped up fights with Sivir ricochets, getting all the way into that back line, and then really excellent follow-up from the kind of bruisery line trio of Capri, Rolling Star, and Swaby to just get in the face of Boomer to Walrus on Jinx. But you said it, there. Boomer to Walrus is a very, very high KDA for a reason. And with Pichu Uwu on Seraphine supporting and a big ol' Event Horizon as Veigar, good luck getting to this Jinx.
Yeah, and when I think big clumped up team fights, all I'm seeing in my brain is just a Seraphine ult just whacking all of Girl Boss Leona, and then Jinx rockets just hitting them over and over and over again while they're not able to move for 2 or 3 seconds. It's just, it doesn't look very good for Girl Boss Leona in my brain simulation here. Don't need that. Close that. Looks like they might be going for an invade.
A big 5 stack here through the bot lane. The way they pathed last time was really excellent, kind of hugging the bot side. Oh, there maybe. We'll see how they decide to play this out here.
And I'm obsessed with how this game and the past game, they have reorganized themselves in the lobbies so that I don't have to do it when we load into the game.
Yes.
And they went from top to support.
That's how you do it. We know we're in Topaz when they're lining up in LCS order. Oh, cheeky little look. It's so common now for ADCs to want to get the push, especially when they don't have to ward, to just go directly into lane and try to get into the farthest bush. And so that's what Girl Boss Leona was doing. They were trying to see, okay, will Boomer DeWalrus, perhaps they've done that in other games where they've tried to get down there early and just take that brush. And had they been in there, would have been an easy kill, but Shyvana Simps just playing the 5-point out, staying safe, and so we'll have a standard start here, no invade, but you did get deep vision here for Shyvana Simps. They are going to know about the pathing choices of Rolling Star early.
Very important stuff when you're in this tier of gameplay. Not something you see in my gameplay, that's for sure. Blazing Phoenix. Oh, that's such a good skin. I wonder what kind of build Fakov is going to go for. Are we going to see a standard fighter, like AD build? Are we going to see the AP build, the tank? No.
We're not. You said, are we going to see standard? I'm like, no, absolutely not. Not with Fakov in the top lane.
Right.
I know for sure we won't see standard. Already the poke coming down here. Pichu Uwu on that Seraphine. It's going to dictate the early lane here, as there's not a whole lot that Sivir's going to do, but Neff can play very safe on that Sivir with the spell shield. So just looking to stay alive, poke when possible.
Poke, poke, poke. He did finally get level 2. He's trying so hard to get up to that CS, but Capri is like, absolutely not. Better duck. That spell shield coming in handy. Darius is going to take an early back and grab a boot. Said, I will not be left in the dust with that Udyr.
I love those kind of early backs where you just slowly crash, like triple stacked waves into your opponent, cheat in a quick recall, and then you can get back into lane before they crash it, and now you've just got an item advantage.
Jinx near perfect CS. Sivir trying their damnedest to get some CS in, but really taking the poke down. They only have so many spell shields.
Yeah, Sivir is going to struggle really to farm under that turret. Unfortunately, having an auto attack reset helps, but with Ricochet then messing up the numbers on some of the other CS, it can be a challenge as Sivir when you're getting pushed in like this, which is not something you probably practice a lot on Sivir, because generally Sivir has push.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't really have any support in the pushing power with the Janna. The Tornado's probably not going to do very much. So, I mean, when you put the solo Sivir push into the Jinx / Seraphine, then it's pretty evenly matched. If not, even more in favor of Jinx and Seraphine.
Oh, certainly. Especially with this Seraphine just able to constantly harass. Neff cannot breathe in this lane. Fakov now going in to Capri. Having a small minion wave there. Phoenix stance.
The minion wave is going to make the difference. I feel like mid lane is going to be a very, very slow, chill lane until other lanes and junglers start rotating. These guys just want to farm.
The one thing that has been under attack in this mid lane is the mana pool of Neon Diamond, so very low for this Veigar, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Swaby try to start continuously pushing these into turret to try to deny as many stacks as possible from this Viger, who's going to be forced to take a reset and TP eventually.
Big damage being dropped on Patchy form there. Oh! He said, you stay here. And the ghost is popped. He said, run! Backoff has no mana.
Does have some stacks of bleed though. Can't get any more damage, but the
Gonna
HP
survive.
bar slipping away. Back off. Okay, with a little bit of HP. Rolling start. Close by, but can't finish with Echo covering.
Ooh, Jinx might be in danger here.
Yeah, suddenly
I'm
Boomer
not
to
giving up
Walrus.
this farm.
Where did all the HP bar Boomer to Walrus go? I don't know if they just got a big winning trade or perhaps there was a
Oh,
teleport.
he's got 6 going in for the execute.
Looking free, looking for stop under town.
Down.
They trade, but first blood picked up by Spoons there. So Shyvana Sims turns that around and no creep going to waves and in the bot lane. Boomer was so low, but manages to pick up a kill there. 2 kills. My goodness. For this bot lane.
2 kills going in the favor of the Jinx and Seraphine lane. That is not going to be good for Girl Boss Leona.
They got so close. They had managed to take out such a big chunk of this Boomer to Walrus's HP bar, but unfortunately couldn't quite push it through. They did at least farm enough for that BF sword, which is helpful because that is, if you back with under 1,300 gold and you can't get that and your opponent does, it feels, it hurts. But not as bad as this top lane here. Capri continuing to just lean into back off, but Spoons is arriving here again to try to turn the tides of this one. Capri a long way from home here. Spoons going back there, rewinding time, and a second kill now, and this time some CS gonna be denied. Fakov pushing on a turret.
It is still so nuts that Darius can basically 1v2 and almost come out on top in those fights. But Fakov is doing a really great job at like kind of kiting in and out of those fights and letting Darius kind of like get the confidence to commit, knowing that Echo has his eyes on that top side. He's ready to come and mess up that Darius.
And Capri knows that that's the plan, and so going boots of swiftness early to say you're trying to dance in and out of this fight, but I'm gonna just run you down. Unfortunately, the jungle is going to make the difference there. So now Capri trying to run back off. Boots of Swiftness coming through already. Once again, applying those stacks of bleed up to 4, but cannot completely connect there. So Fakov walking away yet again.
Yeah, the Decimate is on cooldown, so I don't think he would have won that extended fight. So he's like, we'll just cut our losses now, grab some farm.
I'm curious. Oh, and the bot lane here, Rolling Star arriving, trying to get onto Mover, always flashing forward. But Pichu Uwe immediately out of there. Neps now trying to return some damage, sidestepping that zap.
Zap.
Clean disengage here for Boomer and Pichu. So they can continue to push and play aggressive in this lane.
I can't tell you how enjoyable it is to see Fakov not just stomping all over his laner for once, and there just being like a nice back and forth, like competitive edge in the top side. It's just so fun to see.
Like every time you go, like Fakov wants to keep fighting, but Capri is just very strong on this Darius, but it could still go either way.
Yeah, unfortunately for Fakov, they are quite a bit behind in the CS, but they aren't dying a million times. So that's what's important when you're going into a Darius. You do not want him to get super fat and start dunking the entire team.
Yeah, finding that Boomerang Blade onto Boomer to Walrus, so keeping the HP pretty close here, not getting outpoked. So it's always blow for blow as these two laners, or as bot lane, both at 50%. Such a volatile lane down there.
We do have 20 CS up on the Jinx, so aside from having a kill over Sivir, they've also got a pretty decent gold advantage there. Another top fight! Time to duel! And they back up. Checking out the gold, actually. So it's 3,700 gold on Jinx to 3,100 on Sivir. So an 800 gold lead going in the favor of Jinx. I do love that Seraphine skin. Oh, the rocket! She got excited, chasing him down, dodges the ult.
That is the power of building all this AD early. Just one zap, one super mega death rocket, and that is a dead member of your team. And now they're looking for more. There's going to be 4 kills now for that bot lane. 3 on the Boomer the Walrus in the top. They're looking to stave off these grubs. They've already secured a kill on the Rolling Star, and now everything going the right way for Shyvana Simps. They're going to get plates in the bot lane, and they're looking to secure grubs on the top side of the map.
Things are just spiraling in the favor of Shyvana Simps so quickly. Objectives are now going to them. Kills are going to them. Oh my goodness.
And more kills is what Boomer has set in sight, as he's going for that Korean build that I'm talking about. It is a collector first on Jinx, and so there's some extra gold, there's some extra execute power for Jinx on Boomer, or Boomer Wallace on that Jinx.
Oh, I don't know if you want to stay there, Cass. Oh, you do when you have that much help. Another 2. Oh, was that a barrier? Or no, that was just Janna's shield. Good job, Janna. Patchy out here saving lives. Alright, so that is 1 kill going over to Cassiopeia, which does let her finish her Blackfire Torch. Maybe they will be the game changer. Maybe they will be the carry in this game. Who knows? Ooh, that's a whole lot coming for that Seraphine. Run, girl, run! Run, Pichu! No! And down she goes. And that is going to be 2 kills to Cassiopeia. Up fight! Time to duel. So, Echo's here again. Better run.
Those darn 2v1 duels. But Capri wants to try
Time to
it.
pull him under turret, maybe? He said, let's just... Oh! Oh, the rocket was trying to catch him, but not quite. Right spot to fire it, just a little too early. Adrian's like, no! I think that's when Patchy was getting messed up.
No.
Not Patchy, Pichu. Patchy Pichu. So close. All right. First turret. Also going to Shyvana Simps.
Oh, Rolling Star. Finding Spoons, face checking that. HP
like,
already
let's do
dropping
it.
very low. Capri's here. This is a 2v2 that I think this Darius would love to have, as that explosive perils. Come on back now. Back off in a 2v1.
He's
No
got the
Super Mega
decimate
Deck
up. Just needs a
rocket
couple more stacks.
available. Capri getting the bleeding.
Pow.
And one more.
Back to the bot lane action. Putting the pressure on Girl Boss Leona here.
Nep does not have Essence Reaver, or does have that Essence Reaver complete, which means that the mana is not an issue anymore for this Sivir, so free to spam away, and that's kind of little chip damage that you want to do. Every wave, try to find a Boomerang Blade, try to get some Bouncing Blades, farm as best as you can, keep up with this colossally farmed Sivir. And there's the thing about Seraphine, everything is a multi-hit, so yeah, you can spell shield one thing, but not the whole enchilada here.
At least they weren't stunned or snared. Jinx is itching for a fight.
Nap and Patchy, though, they're constantly fighting for this wave. Yes, both junglers lurking here.
Oh, we do catch the Sivir spell shields the Seraphine ultimate. They said, no, we don't want to have this fight. We know your jungler's here.
Yeah.
This top lane, my goodness.
does mean Encore now down in that bot lane, so it does buy some breathing room for Neff Batchaform, who now they're the ones on the push. And anytime you're in this position as Sivir where you can hit the wave first, that means all of your autos get to ricochet back, and there's not a whole lot that the enemy can do to prevent that damage.
You know, except for maybe kill you.
Which is more difficult when you're down a big summoner like Encore. And
That's
so
true.
it looks like they'll just back. I don't know if Girlboss Leona has a read on this, if they can maybe push in a wave and try to get 6 CS or 7 CS closer here.
Yeah.
It looks like they do. So
Vigar pinged their stacks here. We got 165 bonus AP. They have been stacking.
you said that's the thing about a quiet mid lane. It's definitely going to favor the side that just wants to sit and stack.
Oh, you're surrounded back up. What are you going to do?
Time for your team. You have a Echo coming in. Everyone now collapsing on this. The only one not arriving here is going to be Boomer. Sivir going back bot. We got a 4v4 Fakov now. Has turned it around.
Whoa.
Swing followed. Two killers collected for Jinx. That turns the fight on a dime. And now Girlboss Leona just trying to run away. Spoons. Can't find anything. Neff is also rotated up here. Has Janna shield to back him up. But that means you've left this Jinx alone on this bot lane. Getting excited. Taking the turret 5-0.
Dang. That Jinx rocket turned that thing around so hard. Seraphine's like, let me save you, Vigar. I got you. Ah. Oh, the barrier. Vigar's got no mana. Preacher's like, let's kill her. Got Jinx hovering on that corner. I do not want to get too close. Gragas is coming in. Uh-oh.
Watching away, but what? Tag with this
Oh!
back into the team with that explosive cast. Boomer the finding two though in that single moment before getting shut down. And now Capri back off 1v1 yet again.
I call hacks on that Cassiopeia ult. They were both facing the opposite direction, and they were both still turned to stone. That was hacks, period. You're burning, Fakov, you're burning. He's like, I got shields. Oh, cycle, cycle, cycle. Run!
Oh, are you really getting away from this match? He really is. What a incredible run there.
Oh, that was great. Fakov grabbing that Winter's Approach. Full blue build. Boots of Swiftness, Winter's Approach, and Frozen Heart. Interesting that Udyr is ahead on items. They got 2 full items and their full boots, whereas Darius only has 1 full item. What's the gold difference here? Udyr has an additional 500, 600 gold almost?
At the tower is what that is. Taking pretty much the top turret there. And now in the bot lane, buying time for his team to try and contest this second dragon. But Pakov's still all alone, so team never arriving. But what did they decide to do instead was go up into the top side and take that Rift Herald. So they'll have something to use to push against their opponents here.
Ooh, almost caught him. That's what you gotta do. If you're gonna lose an objective, take another one. That is 2 dragons in the favor of Girlboss Leona now. And that means it's going to be an Infernal Soul for this game. We definitely do not want Shyvana Simps getting the Infernal Soul.
Oh, don't we?
Wants to have an option. I mean, I would love to see it. I'm totally down for Shyvana Simps stomping all over this, but we don't want them to have it if we want Girlboss Leona to have a fighting chance here. That's for sure.
Back off, just coming in and leashing the blue buff for his opponent's jungler and getting out of there.
Not to mention, if Shyvana Simps did get the Infernal Soul, that would mean 4 Infernal Dragons and the Infernal Soul. So that would be such a damage boost on a very bursty team.
Ooh, patchy. I'm gonna use that Howling Gale just to get out of there, but instead gonna move body slam. The big man himself starting things out.
Yeah, Fakov has finally found his footing in these fights with the Darius. He's got so much armor, so much utility. And I think it's going to be very important for these fights too, because like I was saying, Girl Boss Leona is slower on the damage, whereas Shyvana Sims is a lot more burst, a lot more damage overall. So if Fakov is going to be able to slow down their already slow damage with all this utility and tankiness, then that really puts Girl Boss Leona at a disadvantage in these fights.
Fakov has got pulled in. We are on the hunt, but
Run!
Fakov just says you can bring it all you like, but I'll just run away. And then immediately just right back to pushing. Rick Harold has been summoned in that mid lane, gonna be riding into the mid turret. And they burst it down, but Spoon's having to chrono break back, and now the team is running away. There isn't any Sivir ultimate. Oh, just enough.
Let's fight. Let's do it. Udyr is such an interesting champion. I never see him anymore. Unless Fakov's playing him. Stun. Capri does have no mana, so even with the Decimate up, I don't think they can cast it.
Fakov just saying,
Ooh.
I'm gonna, sidestepping that, ignoring the turret, taking so many shots and still getting out of there.
So I think I'll hang out here too.
Just always playing on the edge.
He's edging us. Oh, Viger might be in a little bit of danger here. Fakov's got the peel for himself, but maybe not so much for an ally. Oh, run, Fakov, run!
Spoon's on Echo looking to turn this one, finding the back line though. That's just not gonna be enough. Fakov going down, Capri going down, and now the hunt is on. Boomerang trying to help his team, putting out those flame chompers, but they're still looking. Capri flashing forward, going to pull in one member, Puchu Uwu, using Encore to try to get out, but it's just not enough. Another one, and a flash forward from Rolling Star, and looking for that one more, but it's just going to be a disengage, almost cleaning up that fight. It is only the Jinx alive.
It's okay, Jinx will 1v5, right? Well, they're thinking Baron. She said, get low, so you can't do it. Oh, she might just have to let them do it.
Baron started up a teleport here mid. It's Fakov. So now you have Jinx and a tank. And this Baron.
Really zoning in here, saying, you can't go this way.
Lots of rockets. Jinx just hoping for one reset. Smite securing Baron for Girl Boss Leona. Wavy just getting taken down by that zap. So they secure Baron and only lose one
I don't
member.
want them to go back.
Fakov finding the recalls, stopping him. Rolling Star will turn, but is this actually a fight you want? Fakov just charging it, patch of form. Janna trying to get away. Flash in the wall.
Like, okay, maybe 3 is too many.
Howling Gale just missing. Rolling Star going to chip away at Fakov's far. The shield comes up, and it actually
here
is.
comes the rocket! Here comes the rocket!
Goes down.
Oh!
Ending.
Oh, and they got the dragon. That's going to be the first Infernal Dragon going over to Shyvana Sims.
So that means that Jinx now has opportunity completed alongside Infinity Edge. There's no attack speed in Boomer to Walrus's build, very much reliant on finding that first kill with ultimate. Oh, Neff, where are you right now in the middle of this fight? Just trying to kite out Spoon on Echo, who's actually forced a chrono break away, going back in for the reset to finally take down Neff. So no attack speed for this Jinx. It just means you've got to get a reset and you have opportunity. But once you get that reset, you get an extra bit of burst speed from that opportunity passive, and then you really get to clean up a fight.
Akov said, get out of here. You may have Baron, but I ain't scared. I also have a team.
Gragas is around, does have explosive cast for possible disengage, but instead Backoff is going to charge forward and say, Rolling Star, you're my new target now.
Uh-oh, he might want to go help, though. Darius can 1v2 those guys. Oh, but there's 3 now.
Boomer has
no.
arrived, turning around.
Oh, he's alive!
Staying alive here.
Staying alive, staying alive.
That's a reset onto the Jinx, the first one. There's the second one. She's so quick getting down, trying to chase down the rest of the team as the Wavy trying to slither away. Forced to use Petrifying Gaze, but it just buys a little bit of time. Another reset for this Jinx.
Oh boy, that is 11-1 on the Jinx. They got opportunity. Is that part of the Korean build?
That's the build. It's because of that passive there. And when you score that kill, you get 200 decaying movement speed, and so you don't have any attack speed, but you have a ton of movement speed. So once you get 1 kill, you just get to charge at your opponents and do a ton of damage.
That's wild. Hadrian said, but did you see that Seraphine shield though? I sure did. Seraphine was out here like, no one's dying today. Fakov just distracting while the team gets objectives.
And she moves in, puts down that event horizon, finds one, and now they're going to turn on to Patch Form. Boomer Walrus is excited. Steph is only a little bit of, has a 75% HP, but that's not going to be enough to keep you alive against the likes of a Vega, against the likes of a Jinx, who's just consuming the entire base here. 2 inhibitors now fallen.
I'm obsessed with this. Like how Udyr is basically just running around, basically just, and down goes Darius. The Udyr's just running around, basically creating a distraction that either lasts so long that the rest of his team gets to show up and basically take care of what he's been doing, or just let them go do whatever they need to do, including take an objective, take a bunch of turrets, kill the enemy. Like, the distraction power is insane.
Maybe finding a nice Petrifying Gaze there onto Pichu Uwu. But look at that Boomer to Walrus. Godlike, getting excited, now trying to run away here. Taking that turret super low, but still able to sit back. And with all this lethality, even Zap is going to be putting up massive amounts of damage. Back off. Wrong Nexus.
Run,
hey, if
run.
you get out of this, I don't even know.
Those shields, I can't.
There we go. And Boomer coming up to try to help his top laner, but unfortunately it just means that Jinx will get shut down. So there's some little bit of influx of shutdown gold for Girl Boss Leona, but their base is kind of in shambles here.
I'm just imagining Fakov on the keyboard just literally just like smacking it over and over and over again because they're just cycling through so fast. It's got like cat paws. Just
yeah, if anyone needs to win a new keyboard, it might be Fakov.
It might be Fakov. Someone give Fakov extra points. He needs a new keyboard. Oh, let's see if we can get a turnaround in favor of Girl Boss Leona here. It's just 25-16. We've got about a 9,000 gold difference. Dragons haven't been a big factor in this one. We've got 2 on Girl Boss Leona, and then just the 1 on Shyvana Sims. And looks like Shyvana Sims going for Infernal Dragon number 2.
Yeah,
it'll be an extra 6% attack damage and ability power.
That's what a Viger needs.
Viger and Jinx.
Yeah.
We have Darius attempting a split push up here. Viger said, I'm gonna go stop that. You guys go win. Ooh, they're just running in. Encore! They're trying so hard to disengage it, but they just can't outmatch the damage. Jinx just getting to stand back there and just blow them up, rocket after rocket. Zap goes down, the rocket spell shielded, but down goes Sivir anyways. We got 5 with the teleport in from the Vigar, and they're gonna try to close out this game. Ooh, a lot of lasers getting dropped here. Careful, guys.
Robot Leona had the angle at Boomer the Walrus moving up. You had Rolling Star going right in, getting that Jinx so low in the middle part of that fight, but it just was not enough. And the shields from Pichu Uwu was keeping the carry alive, and it allows Shyvana Sims to claim victory in game number 2.
I don't know how much more excitement I can take. My brain might explode. Who do you think was MVP for that game?
It's always hard not to give it to the best runner of the game in Fakov, but I have to say this was kind of the Jinx show. Boomer the Walrus showing off a trendy new build and absolutely impressing with it, hitting the snipe cross map on Super Mega Death Rocket and just carrying his team to victory.
I think this is gonna have to be another double MVP because Fakov and Boomer both like I don't have a whole lot of words besides what I've been saying the entire time. Just the Fakov distraction, the distraction effect, just basically running around causing absolute havoc to where the team has to be dragged over to him. When they were dragged over, Shyvana Sims had options. They were like, we can just go do something else because he's gonna be fine, or we can just go help him and basically take out the entire team because they can't kill Fakov. And then just friggin' Boomer the Walrus having absolute perfect positioning, being able to kite so hard. But I mean, having the Fakov and Spoons in there, basically making it so that no one can get to you anyways, on top of your very, very efficient positioning, it's so hard to turn that around. So big props going to Boomer the Walrus on Jinx, and big props going to Fakov on Udyr. You both get MVP. Congratulations, guys. We got an invite for the next game, so let's go ahead and load into that one. Let's see if they're here. Looks like we are waiting for the next team to load in here. Oh my gosh, I don't know how much more yelling I can take. It's hard not to yell with so much action. Backup says, oi, I set those snipes up. Yeah, those rockets were on point. In fact, I was like, I take credit for setting them up. Hey Dream says, great games. Seriously. Who is our last set? Let's see.
Gonna be Girl Boss Leona taking on Pookie Jarvan.
Pookie Jarvan. That's my favorite team name. Pookie. See if I can refresh here and get an updated KDA set for Topaz. Okay, so it's still showing the same stats from last week. I assume those will all update after this week is over. Boomer the Walrus says Fakov definitely set up those snipes. Great teamwork, great teamwork. Let's see, I'm gonna take 2 seconds to go to the bathroom really quick, but why don't you tell us about, there was a change in the event lineup, right? Like a meetup that was coming up?
Yeah, there has been. So originally we were supposed to be getting together this Friday at the North End. That event has been moved now. Let me quickly pull up the dates so I don't give any misinformation out, but that date for the North End hangout has moved to Friday, October the 4th at 7:30. So there'll be free pizza. I'll be there. There's a lot of your favorite people from the server will be there. So please mark your calendars and join us on Friday, October 4th for that meetup. Now, this Saturday has been the meetup for an event out in the park. So a lot of us here at CMSA are going to be, or CMSA eSports will be out in the park this Saturday. I don't know if tickets are still available. Let's see. We're within a week. I feel like tickets may have sold out. I'll double check because I don't want to overhype it if there's anything available. But if there is, I want to be like, go get a ticket right now. That event is on Saturday. That event is on Saturday. And I don't know, I don't see anywhere where it says they're sold out, so maybe they're still available. I'd love to see you, meet you, take some rides on a roller coaster with you. I definitely am looking forward to my very first ride on Sky Striker at night, going up and down. So it's going to be amazing. And then, as you said, that there is a new event now. So this Friday, September 6th at 7 p.m., there's a new event. This was just posted to the server, and we're going to be meeting up at Big Gay Sal's for a game night. And I love a game night. There's going to be free pizza. But please, like, bring a board game that you own to come and play with us. There's all sorts of different games I'm sure that'll be available. I like everything from the kind of lighter game to the game that you can't start until you've read a rule book for an hour long, So all of them, all welcome here at Big Gay Sal's this Friday, September 6th at 7 p.m. Hope to see you there. I'll be there.
Yeah, and if you are new to the stream, CMSA, our organization, stands for Chicago Metropolitan Sports Association. We're the largest LGBTQ plus sports nonprofit in the Midwest, and in 2018 we expanded to include eSports, which is what we're doing now. We have active eSports leagues for Fortnite, Overwatch, League of Legends, Dead by Daylight, Dungeons and Dragons, Valorant, ARAM. Like, we do so many games, and like besides just like the actual eSports leagues, we have a whole bunch of stuff. Like, people play Magic the Gathering together. We've hosted servers for games like Pal World. I hosted one for V Rising for a little bit. So like, as stuff comes up, we're always doing something. So if you aren't already a part of the community, definitely join our Discord, CMSA eSports. And if you are part of our community and haven't heard of some of these things, make sure you go to your role selection and click through and select some of the other games. I'm probably getting back into Sea of Thieves here soon. So if anyone's playing Sea of Thieves, what was that, Sam? You threw up finger guns.
Oh, you just reminded me of something as you were talking. So it was
What's that?
Well, so you were talking about Sea of Thieves and getting back into a game. I've recently gotten back into a game that I love to play, and I was gonna throw it onto the server and see if anyone would like to play like over the course of a weekend or a couple weekends together. And that's the game. It's older, but Don't Starve. Me and my partner have been playing Don't Starve lately, and it's super punishing. But I know there's some members on the server that have a ton of hours in Don't Starve, so I'd love to like put together like a weekend or some sort of a server where maybe we commit to playing like, I don't know, a season a day or something, and just like grinding through a year or 2 years in that game and just see like, you know, what shenanigans we can get up to, because it's kind of a fun. I'm having a good time with it, and that's the beauty of the server, is you can just sort of hop into a game, play for a couple weeks, month, or whatever, and then move back or go play LOL again, because that's where we always end up, is League of Legends.
Right, it's the default. But no, that's such a great idea. Actually, most of my friends play Don't Starve, and I'm like the only one who's like, oh, I don't want to play Don't Starve. But it's my personal bias against the animation style. So like, I'd rather play another game that's similar but more realistic. But I mean, if something like that does happen where we do like an event for a weekend, I guarantee almost all my friends are going to hop into that as well. So let's definitely put a pin in that one, and let's talk about that.
I'm gonna make that happen. I think that'd be so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely hit up who handles that now. I think Mr. Raccoon might handle new situations like that, if I am correct. Mr. Raccoon, if you're still watching, you can correct me on that one. But I mean, you can always just post in the leadership chat. You're there. You got this. Let's see. How far are they into their next game?
Those first two, they moved along at a good click, but also like they weren't super like stompy. They went on to pretty late, so I can't imagine this game 3 is going to take too long to get going. See if I'll check mine, see if I've got anyone added.
See, Pookie Jarvin. Oh, Ginger Oxide.
Ginger Oxide. Yeah, they're in this one. Let's see.
Hey, they're out of game, so they must be loading in here pretty soon.
Right. Hopefully we'll see.
Yay! Another fly! Gosh darn it!
Pookie Jarvin. There we go. Chime Gatherer.
Yeah, Chime Gatherer.
Chime Gatherer. Aiden. Chime Gatherer.
Chime Gatherer.
There we go. Have them written down as Aiden.
We got Kamaya Harris and that's in this one.
Maya Harris,
Or
Thundercats. Here we go.
maybe
Well, that
it's not
doesn't look
Kamaya
like-
Harris? I see Mift.
Is the capital I in there?
I need to add everybody. Send friend request. Send friend request. Friend request. There is Kamala Harris. Oh, it's Kamala. It's Kamala in this one, not
Hey,
Kamaya.
it was Kamala.
On that
Incredible.
website, it says Kamaya.
It sure does. Maybe it's a capital I in there instead of an L.
Maybe. They said, Ginger, what side you want? They said blue. Looks like they're going to do a little switcheroo here, and then we should be able to get into game 3.
And LCS order if you could, everybody. Thank you.
I mean, if they don't, it's not a big deal. It's just nice when they do.
We're in Topaz. We can handle LCS order, I believe.
Boomer the Walrus said, I wish I lived in Chicago. What area do you live in? I was in Chicago, but now I'm in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is treating me well so far. Oh, some really exciting stuff that's been going on over here. So Activision Blizzard has had this program called Press Play, where they basically have like a bunch of seminars that show you how to basically get into their internship programs. And I've been going to them, and they've been basically helping me out and getting like a portfolio, like my resume, my LinkedIn, all put together, the right certifications. So it's a possibility that I could be getting an internship with Blizzard Activision next summer. Hopefully, we're praying.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
Yes. Wish
And
you all the best luck for that. That would be
Thank
amazing.
you. They have me basically trying to organize with my college campus to get some like gaming events going for some like extra experience. I'm thinking I might start a game development club. So we'll have some people who are like in designing, like creating characters. Maybe we'll make like a small video game, and basically I would take on either a producer or a project manager role in that situation. So I'm very, very excited. All kinds of fun things happening now that we're here. We're in the right environment. We can do some fun stuff.
That is amazing. Get a game jam going. That'd be so cool.
I wonder what kind of game we would make. I would definitely have to ask everybody like, oh, what are you comfortable making? But I'm just curious what we would come up with. Man, they're really trying hard. I think maybe get an LCS order here. Everyone's bouncing all over the place. I think everyone's in place. Maybe they're ready. There's no way that's a capital I. That's definitely Kamala. I'm over here like staring at it.
I'm just going on what I see on the website, but yes, it sure looks like L here.
I love that. Love the representation. Bum, 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 bum. We need to hurry up and get in this game. I'm hungry. Chicken nuggets are calling my name. I'm on such a poor person diet ever since I got here. I spent so much money on the move for one, and then I just bought a moped to basically get around with instead of buying a car because it's a lot cheaper. And oh my gosh, it's so efficient on gas too. Like I was driving it like all day yesterday, and I'm still on full. It's great. So I'm on a poor people diet: peanut butter, jelly, ramen, chicken nuggets. Orange juice is a luxury.
Nothing wrong with that diet. I see absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah, I guess.
No college dining plan? That was my life.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting once I finish this first year because I'm only half-time right now, but I'm hoping to go full-time after the 1 year. I'm gonna have to take out a whole bunch of loans. It's gonna be nutso. I'm already crying about debt, but I'm really gonna be crying about debt once I pull those out. We said our top is bio break. Okay, so we got a bio break. When was that sent?
A little bit ago.
Almost there.
Yeah, I'm going to go and grab another glass of water, but you can continue singing. Tiana. That works with me.
Thank you for getting the reference. I appreciate that.
Pop culture, I don't got you, but Disney,
Disney,
I can
we
follow
got
those.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, go get your water. Oh my gosh. Should I just play a TFT in the meantime while we're waiting? Has anyone else been playing the TFT recently? Because they've had all the most recent updates. Not a whole lot more of the reroll comps going on, which I appreciate. I mean, they're still in, but I feel like it's been a lot easier to do more vertical. I've been playing a few vertical comps today, and I got a couple of top fours, so I'm feeling much more confident in my TFT gameplay. Bum, 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 bum. Also, if anyone has another playlist that's copyright free, very specifically, I'm a little tired of listening to the same synthwave every single week. So feel free to send me some Spotify links to some new playlists that are completely copyright free. Preferably without lyrics too. I feel like lyrics are just distracting when they're in the background of this kind of stuff. Welcome back, Sam.
I only hear the music when I listen to the VODs back, and I think are we gonna have eventually like a song that's gonna be like our like silver scrapes that's just like this is like our hype song, or are we just gonna continue to change it all the time?
Do we have any like music producers in our?
That would be.
We need a CMSA theme song.
Yes. Oh, that would be so cool.
Gingerrock said, "Casters ready when y'all are." We're ready. We've been ready. Let's go. Let's effing go. Ready. All right, we should be getting the champ select now. Yay!
Game 3. Gosh, if this is like the first 2 games, I might lose my voice. This has been such an exciting and action-packed night of League of Legends.
Seriously. Now I kind of want to go back and play some Flex Q and actually try. I love seeing all this fun gameplay. I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of it all. Okay, we're just banning out the supports.
You are not wrong, banning out the support. No enchanters allowed. We're gonna see something all in from these sides. I mean, still plenty available. We saw Janna last game, but some signature champions. P2U not gonna be allowed to be on Seraphine again.
Watch them ban 6 supports. Who's it gonna be?
Who questions my ability?
Okay, that's not a support. Breaking the trend.
What did I do?
No smolder. No smolder snacks.
Fine. I don't need more.
Senna banned in all 3 games today. You know, you were talking about like the AP healing build. I saw a TikTok and later did some more research about a build there currently, which is focused on Black Cleaver.
Yep.
And the Jack of all trades build. So you basically grab your boots, you grab a Zeal, finish your boots, and then go into the Black Cleaver, and you basically like already have your full Jack of all trades to your plus 25 adaptive damage like before you even finish Black Cleaver. So it's extremely quick, so it's great damage. And then when you build your Runon's Hurricane after the Black Cleaver, the procs are just rapid. Like it's insane amount of procs in the Black Cleaver, so it's really great for the tank shredding. So I played that a couple times. I had a lot of great luck with it. I thought that's why she was being taken out, but maybe it's because of your build you were talking about, or it could just be both. They're like, you know what, we don't want either of those in our games.
Well, I think the Black Cleaver build is very strong. I think that's probably the stronger of the 2 on her right now. But the beauty is she has flexibility to go either one, be more supportive, or to go that Black Cleaver and just do so much damage and shred tanks at the same time.
We did not get an Aurelion Soul ban this time. We did in the last 2 games. So we do get an Aurelion Soul pulled into Girl Boss Leona. Yes, Girl Boss Leona. I got to update the other team. That is Pookie Jarvan, right?
Pookie Jarvan, yeah. So expecting to see Swaby on that Aurelion Soul here. And oh, Samira Tarek. So can be very strong. Tarek traditionally pretty weak in lane, especially against Poke. So we'll see how this shakes out. But I mean, that gives Samira a point and click dash stun to work with.
Watch it be Tarek top or Tarek jungle, though. Watch it happen.
Yeah, I know. And after the picks from game 1, anything could happen.
Seriously. A very safe lane with a Soraka Kate over on Girl Boss Leona. A very safe team in general. It seems like they just really want to hang back and scale it into the late game so far.
Whereas Pookie Jarvan just wants to put the ball on Samira and say, go.
So we're going in. Brrr. Interesting Kha'Zix ban.
Seems you left your brave
I haven't seen
pants at
Kha'Zix in a
home.
game in a minute
You want me
either.
to wait while you go get them?
No poopy.
I don't know if that's something specific against Thundercats or
It has to be. I don't see why
what.
else you would ban it.
I don't see that often.
I'd rather be home anyway.
Aurora again. She said, I'd rather be home anyway. Preach, Aurora. Preach. What's the last ban gonna be? No Lilia. Okay, okay. Who these last 4 picks gonna be? Eric is miffed. Lee Sin. That would be interesting. Okay. All right. I could see Jarvan being a little bit more efficient than Lee Sin in this one, just because we do see that they kind of want to hang back for the most part. But Jarvan is basically going to be the decision maker and like, okay, now we can go in.
It's going to give a great target for Aurelion Soul to Sky's Descent, just right here. Jarvan, like kind of the landing pad for that.
Another Zach pick. Are we going to get a support or are we going to get a top? Looks like a top laner. Maybe. All right, Malphite top.
Okay, so I feel pretty confident in the role selection over on Pookie Jarvan. I don't think there'll be any trickery. And talk about a team that wants to go in. They have just 4 members that just want to be melee range with Girl Boss Leona, and they have the tools to lock them in. So great selection. And look at that on Girl Boss Leona, a Silas pickup. And you do have some excellent ults to heist here, whether it's Malphite or the Malphite, which is going to be a massive nuke coming on the AP of the Silas, or Tarek. That ultimate can be completely game-changing as well.
That's going to be a Silas top. Interesting. Well, what do you think? What are your opinions on the team comp so far?
Wow, I honestly see this game. So Pookie Jarvan really wants this game to be played aggressive, where it's just constant skirmishy fights all over the map. They don't want to, and if there's a big 5v5 team fight, they just want to be able to get onto the back line of Girl Boss Leona, who doesn't have that much in the way of peel tools. I mean, Soraka doesn't provide a ton of peel. Caitlyn can kind of self-peel, but as an ADC, that's not really what you're looking for, especially when you've got Malphite and Zac. So this Neff is really going to have a lot of work to be done to actually prevent the all-in from Pookie Jarvan. So if Pookie Jarvan can stay close or get ahead, I just really see them kind of stampeding all over the Girl Boss Leona team. That said, I think that Girl Boss Leona has enough tools to disengage. And anytime you're like this all in versus more of a disengage comp, it can be really, really challenging. Aurelian Soul in that Sky's Descent can buy a lot of time and space for the rest of the team to sit back and DPS. Silas can take some powerful ultimates and use them against the dive of Pookie Jarvan. You have a silence to immediately stop Samira, who might get going, and Jarvan can just build terrain to slow down the advance. So I think that it's going to be very close and can be very exciting, but I lean towards girl boss Leona.
I think the Silas is the wild card here. Because I'm looking at their team, it's got a very clear strategy, and let's hang back, let's scale. And then when we find the good opportunities, Jarvan's going in to start it off, and they're kind of trapped. So there's a little bit of appeal for the Kate and the Aurelian Soul to kind of just drop what they need to in one quick area, get their picks, and get out. Silas is the only option they really have for the early game. So if Silas gets ahead early game to carry them into the late game, I can see how that would work. And he's basically the only one that's going to be going into the fights with Jarvan at this point. So I think it's very, very dependent on Silas's success in the early game here. Because in the early game and the late game, I feel like Pookie Jarvan with their Wombo combo team has the advantage in creating gap closing, creating distance if they want to, surviving through fights. Like they just have a very consistent amount of damage, engage, disengage, everything you could possibly need to win team fights. So I'm kind of team Wombo with Pookie Jarvan. As long as Orianna doesn't get absolutely smashed, which I don't think she will under Aurelian, because I don't think Aurelian's going to be very aggressive. If she was going into Silas, I'd be a little bit more worried for her, because Orianna gets pretty beat up by Silas. Unless it's Aurelian Soul top lane, but it doesn't look like it considering they've rotated themselves in LCS order. So unless they pull a fast one on me, I'm going to be going for Team Wombo on Pookie Jarvan. We are against each other. Who will be the victor? How many teleports we got this game? 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4. 2 in the mid lane, 2 in the top lane. Caitlyn opting for the barrier. I'm so sick of seeing barrier in the bot lane. Go back to heal like we're supposed to.
The only option. They've like nerfed heal so far. I'm actually very surprised to see Ginger Oxide taking this heal and not a barrier on Samira. So a little bit of extra support for their team.
They said, you know what? I'm looking out for my Taric. We're gonna take heal.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Maybe the Taric ult will actually go off instead of it dying before it actually pops off.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
For the first time, Girl Boss not trying some sort of a invade, just opting to spread into this 5-man.
Yeah, they really couldn't, unless Jarvan was level 2. Because they have no gap close. Oh, they were just trying to have a good time, and Mift was like, get whacked. The question mark.
Like, it's the competitive week. You're playing for KDA, you're playing for damage totals, every bit counts.
Swaby's like, my 4 health bar. Swaby dropping a, oh gosh, I can't speak, a ward in their own jungle just to ensure that Zac isn't going to invade. I'm very interested to see how this top side goes. Silas is going to probably be very aggressive into this Malphite, because Malphite doesn't have a whole lot going for him against an AP champion. Although that exchange is pretty even, actually favoring Malphite even a little bit. Oh, but he's diving into the minions. First blood has to be on top side. These guys are being aggressive.
Level 2 and all in immediately. Kamala Harris puts the flash away. First blood to Capri.
All right, things are already looking very good for Girl Boss Leona and their early Silas strategy. Oh, the client was just like, hey, get out. Let me just reconnect here. That was a weird one. Is it still streaming for you on Discord?
I can still see it.
Perfect.
We're already back live here.
I can see it, but the
Oh no, we're
OBS
not
is
live.
picking it up. Let's
You
see.
just- We could just see a repeat of First Blood going over to Capri here.
Not showing
Hopefully
on
we-
stream, and it just crashed again. What is happening?
Riot.
Gosh darn it! We get into game 3 without any technical issues. All right,
Going
reconnect
so
again.
well. Third time's a charm here.
Third time.
We're gonna make it past First Blood this time.
Okay, did it show up on
believe.
the stream?
I see it on stream. We're live this time instead of being reliving First Blood for a third time. Hopefully we're
All
where
right.
we need to be.
Back in business.
Ginger
We ain't missing
Oxide
any
and
other kills.
Ginger Oxide and River Otter have done a great job preserving their HP. Whenever you're against a pokey lane like this, it can be really challenging to keep that health bar total up until you get level 3, because now there's a potential all-in angle you might have, but level 1, Samira can't really do a whole lot against this bot lane. And now Chime Gatherer, Aiden here trying to find something. Ginger wants to
trying
bait them
so
in.
hard to bait it.
Like, look, I'm taking a bad
And it crashed
engage.
again.
And right as the Chime Gatherer goes in. Great, well baited there by Ginger Oxide. It's just unfortunate that the stream does not want to cooperate.
The league client's like, no, get out.
Every time there's a kill, we're just gonna crash.
Yep.
It looks like that kill was, or the gank was uneventful, but Zach gonna try
back.
round 2
Back
here.
again.
The stun
And
lands,
crash again.
dazzle lands, and another one. Oh no! League of
I'm
Legends.
I'm gonna force close.
We may have to completely try again here.
And task.
And what's the over-under on that Soraka surviving there? We all are rooting for Patchy in this moment, surrounded by a
Thoughts
Zach.
and prayers. Thoughts and
And
prayers.
the dazzling turret.
All right. Did the right client close? It did not. Exit. Okay.
gotta
Reopen
really-
League of Legends. Doom, 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 doom. Logging back in. Vibing out to the music. Doom, 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 doom.
There you go.
Doom, doom.
Turn it up, let it go. I gotta figure out a way for that I would be able to hear this. I guess I can turn on the volume of the stream. Hear it delayed.
Oh, but then you'll hear our voices.
Like the most, it just throws you off whenever I hear my own voice
Yeah.
while I'm trying to talk over it. It's impossible.
Oh, it brought us back to the gank. And it crashed again. Something's going on with the Riot client. IDK, guys. IDK.
It's the new. We're just gonna. I'll take a quick screenshot every time we get into the game, and then I can just analyze the state of the game. I can make predictions on the next minute or two before we get the next freeze frame.
I'm going to try to force close and then run as administrator. And if
Yeah,
that
'cause-
doesn't work, we might just have to call it.
Yeah, we're really running out of options if you. With that, normally the old close everything is all I can really do for League of Legends. because it's a client thing, not a streaming thing. So streaming desktop wouldn't even help here.
Yeah.
New
And my
glitches.
computer's not dropping frames. Everything's looking good. It's just the client's like, get on, spectate.
It was shaping up to be such a strong game.
Nope, another crash.
Another crash.
I'm gonna reload and do it one more time. I'm not gonna touch anything and see if it goes. I start to like push the buttons to basically
get live. That's yep. Do what you gotta do. We'll all hold our breath.
Last chance, guys. Last chance.
One more time here.
One more
For
time.
Topaz. We want to see game 3, Riot. We want to see game 3. Game 1 and 2 were so good.
Seriously. Okay, I'm just gonna zoom out. I'm not gonna touch any other buttons. I already see a little bit of lag. Is it gonna keep going?
You got it. In this moment, we're all cheering for both Pookie Jarvan, Girl Boss Leona, and the client.
And the client. Oh, Orion's in danger! Okay, I'm gonna try to open the scoreboard so at least we can see that. Try to close those time controls. Okay, I think we're okay.
I think we're okay. Right. What's the game time at? What are you saying?
8:55.
8:55. Okay, perfect.
Yes, you're able to see on Discord, right?
I can't see on Discord, but I can see it on the. I can just watch the Twitch feed. Don't touch anything.
Oh, okay.
It is okay. It's only a few seconds behind, so we're all good.
And it crashed. I didn't even do anything. I didn't touch it.
Oh no!
Yeah, I think we might have to call it there.
Oh, what a tease! Game 1, Game 2, so good, and I'm sure that Pookie Jarvan would have given us an excellent Game 3. I'll have to look at this, and it's such a bombastic team fight with Samira and Kamala Harris on the same team. It would have been crazy.
Yeah, well, we'll recap at the beginning of next week exactly what happened in that game. Maybe we'll dish out MVP based on the stats that we see on the website.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, you know, is what it is. I'm trying to think, where were the any final announcements? We already talked about the next meetup that's coming up. You said it was October 4th?
So the next meetup is this Friday.
Okay.
And it is at Big Gay Sal's at 7 ? Let me double check. Big Gay Sal's at 7 o'clock. And then the following day is Out in the Park at Six Flags at 8 p.m. You'll need to purchase your tickets in advance. It looks like there's still tickets available, so you can do that. And then after that, a month later, in October the 4th, will be at the North End.
Wonderful, amazing. What were the details on the Pride in the Park again? Or the
Out in the Park is a queer community night at Six Flags, and there's a group from CMSA that will be riding roller coasters together, and you do need to buy a ticket in advance for that. So tickets are on sale on their website, which is at Out in the Park. You can click on the event detail on Discord, and it gives you all of the information to purchase that at gaysixflagschicago.com.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for all the updates, Sam. I appreciate you being in the loop. I have this information in front of me. I'm the worst at keeping track of where it is. I need to put it all in one spot. That way I'm just always in the loop on the announcements. All right. Well, sorry, everybody, for cutting a little bit short. But Riot Client just does not want to cooperate today. But at least we got to see 2 really amazing games. Like, those were probably the most impressive games I have ever watched. I'm very curious to see how it goes when we have our competitive team set up, if all the games are going to be just like that, where it's just going to be like us on the edge of our seat the whole time, or what that streaming schedule is going to be like, because I know they were talking about maybe streaming some practices. Just so much exciting stuff coming for esports with CMSA. And like I was saying earlier, if you are newer here, we do so many different kinds of esports leagues, and so many different kinds of like gaming opportunities between server hosting and just community nights and 24-hour streams. So make sure you join us in the CMSA Discord. Check out out the website to register for some of the new leagues and all that fun stuff. So until next time, we'll see you guys next week.